Going live at last. That was a fun startup to this morning. I'm just trying to figure out to get my monitor here on my phone. Yeah, it's always great when you set up a stream and then your computer decides, hey guys, it's time to do an update. We're gonna install a new OS for you while you're ready to go here. So that was a fun process this morning. Had to do some two-factor authentication, fun and all. But just give me a minute here while I get my monitor up, and then I'll do our official intro and get started. I apologize for the delay getting kicked up this morning, and I'm still waiting for my feed to show up in my phone here. Let's see if I can find myself doing this. D20 Studios, here we go, channels. All right, looks like I'm live. Let me make sure I can hear my audio. Oh, it looks like I hear audio, good. Looks like I gotta watch an ad to watch my channel, so that's fun. Let's mute this really quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and fire up my tools here so we're all set to go. And then we'll kick this off. All right, let's make sure that I can hear audio in the game. Okay, looks like my channel's back. Kick this off. All right, let's make sure that I can hear audio in the game. Okay, looks like my channel's back. Okay, I hear audio here. Let me make sure this isn't too loud. SFX 20, that seems okay. Let me turn this down a little bit. Okay. I don't think it. I don't know if I hear game audio coming through here. Just. All right. Well, unfortunately, I may not have game audio, but it looks like you can hear me talking, so we're going to stop it. I'm going to continue on here. All right. Let's get this kicked off. All right. How do I get out of this thing? All right. Well, unfortunately, I may not have game audio, but it looks like you can hear me talking, so we're going to. Okay. Fantastic. All right. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Ross Shabilsky. I am the founder of D20 Studios. We are a small indie studio based here in the beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah. And I am proud today to be streaming our development. We are a community-driven developer. We like to get players and community directly involved with our design and development process, get your feedback, show you how we build things, have fun designing games together. It's a good show. This is our 19th episode streaming live today, so I'm very excited about that. And today's episode, we're going to be creating some new starter decks for our upcoming turn-based strategy deck builder game called Summoner's Fate. And what's cool about making the starter decks is that this will translate into new AI opponents that players will be able to face off in our current pre-release. So real quickly, I'm going to show you our website. If you're not familiar with our game yet, it is available at summonersfate.com. We are not officially released yet, but we have a pre-release available that you guys can purchase, and that includes access to the game on all of our target platforms, PC, Mac, Android, and iOS, of course. So you guys can pick that up there and follow along. And I'm going to go ahead and take us to our forums here from the top of the website. We've also got links to our Discord community, Twitch, and YouTube, and all these other great things at the top there. So if you guys want to also join our conversations on Discord, go ahead and click on the link up here. All right, and I'm going to pull us up to our, I guess I'm going to go into is my game updates and news, because I'm going to be posting a new update today. This is going to be exciting. This will be our first DLC that will be available following our recent version 32.1 update that occurred last week. And so we're going to be adding some new content to the game, and we're going to be doing it live here on the stream. It's going to be very exciting. You're going to get to open up your game, log in. It's going to tell you there's new stuff, all exciting. And then you're going to be able to instantly play the new content that we create here on the stream. It's one of the things I'm very excited about with our development pipeline. So I'm going to go to this guy here, release notes. Yes, this is the one I want. Okay, so if you come to our release notes, this is also accessible from our release notes.summonersfate.com. You're going to see a little notification that says new DLC will be created during the stream. Watch us now on Twitch. And for those of you watching us here, thank you. And so again, on our agendas, we're going to create some new starter decks. This will generate to some new AI opponents. We also have time to take a look at some of our single player developments that we've made this week already toward getting our goal of a fast turnaround on our upcoming single player adventures. So I'll be excited to show some of that today as well. All right, so first of all, with regards to these starter decks, we have my son Wesley to thank. He was very astute in calling me out during the development last week about the fact that, Daddy, you've got all this amazing new characters in the game, but I can only play 6 opponents. I want to fight these other characters when I play against a computer. And it was a very good call out. I was very proud of him for recognizing that. And so one of the things I did before I made the client update last week was to inject a hook that would allow us to add new starter decks directly to the game via our DLC pipeline. So thanks to Wesley, this stream is now possible, what we're about to do. Okay, so real quick, this is our definitions editor. This is the tool I built, of which the entire game engine is built upon, that allows us to create and add new content directly into the game engine via over-the-air updates, very small updates. We're talking under a meg here for the update we're going to be doing today. And this is the level editor where we can create new worlds, new characters, and such like that. And what we're actually going to be doing today is using a panel we have never used before in the stream. Actually, we've used it before. I should take that back. Our Dex panel, we've used it to test different new cards we're creating. But this will also be how we're going to add new starter decks to the game. And so the way that this works is basically I've got, oh, of course, you guys can't see that window down there. Maybe I can make this thing smaller and move it up. Let's see. There we go. No, that didn't help. It doesn't fit on the screen. Okay, but you guys just trust me. I can load up the decks and show you what it says, but it looks like it's being cropped by my video screen here. So yeah, here's some examples. So these are the decks that you currently see in our game world, and this is how I program them into the game and add them. And basically all I have to do to add a new starter deck is make a deck and then toggle this little thing here that says none and make that alpha, and this will create a new starter deck inside the game. So some interesting points about this. By adding a starter deck to the game, it will also create a new AI opponent that will be automatically added to the game's roster. When you go to fight a battle against the AI in the game, currently it selects a random AI opponent from one of the 6 existing starter decks, and that will now include the new starter decks that we create today. So with that, there is a lot of new cards and content we've created since I've developed the AI. I actually programmed the AI for this game about 2 years ago now. It is it's my second time developing an AI system. The first one was for our original game, Hero Mages. And this one has been designed to be a lot more adaptive than the Hero Mages model. It's actually a really cool process. Making AI opponents for strategy games is a very intensive but very rewarding and amazing thing to develop. I do have some resources on that where I talk more in depth if you guys are curious about AI development. I'll talk a little bit about today, but let's see. I'm going to go to this and go to my YouTube here. This. Yeah, here we go. And then I actually want to go to the Game Dev Chats channel. So you can get to here from gamedevchats.com or just search for Game Dev Chats in YouTube. But this is where I post all my developer-specific videos about different things. And the video where I talk about how we made this AI is here, called How to Create AI for Strategy Games. It's a great presentation I put together for the local indie group here in Salt Lake City. What do a stack of pancakes and Back to the Future have to do with making AI? Watch the presentation and find out. No, but in all seriousness, what's cool about the AI for Summoner's Fate is that we've designed it to be adaptive so that it's able to recognize how to use cards and combinations just based on the pure game logic that's created within those cards. It is able to use simulations to play out different combinations, and it's actually very effective at creating um, combo attacks against players using the resources it has available during its turn. However, it does have some limitations because I've created some new types of abilities and logic that it may not have the best ability to interpret yet. So what that means for us today is that we're going to want to do some play testing to ensure that the decks I create are ones that AI can actually play effectively. Okay, so that's where we're going to start today. Okay, so let me close this down and close this down. And what we're going to do is, first of all, launch up the actual game itself. So I'm going to close down the definitions editor for now, and I'm going to go ahead and fire up Summoner's Fate itself so you can kind of see what I'm talking about with regards to the starter decks. And then we're also going to use the system here to build our or to test the decks. Okay, and just checking here. Okay, cool. All right, so currently in the game, this is kind of our launch menu, our staging area for where you're going to pick your teams and go off on your adventures. If I go into here right now and you go to the starter decks, you're going to see that we've got 6 teams currently in here. Actually, I take it back. I did a little cheat to make sure it was working for us. So here's our bug deck stub. It doesn't actually work yet because there's no cards in there. But here's you can see the different opponents that we have in the game so far. And when I go to battle a computer opponent in here, it is going to give me an option to connect. I can hit play versus AI, and it will pit me against one of those opponents. All right. So what we're going to want to do inside of here, I can show you guys where we can actually view the cards. So like here's an example of Cold Hearted. We were looking at that in the definitions editor, and here we can actually see all the cards that are in their deck. All right. And so to build these decks, I'm going to use the game itself, so we kind of have a visual editor of what we want to include in the deck. And we'll talk a little bit about the strategy for how we want to put this deck together. And then we'll assemble it, put it in the game, and then test it to make sure that the AI can actually play it effectively. Okay. All right. So let's go to our deck builder here. I'm going to go back to my custom deck. I kind of started one here. So the first one I want to build, I kind of got an idea of what I want out of it. We're going to do a bug-themed deck. I'm a huge bug nerd. I love insects. I've loved them since I was a kid. My favorite bug is a praying mantis, and so not surprisingly, there is a praying mantis summoner character who is the leader of this faction we're going to build. And he's got a lot of bugs friends, and he also teams up with the birds. I've kind of joked before about maybe naming this deck the birds and the bees because it uses a combination of the two to create a really interesting swarm of poisonous insects that can overrun the enemy. It's probably my favorite deck I use to play other players in the game right now in multiplayer, and so we're going to build that. I'm going to go into the deck editor here, and we're going to just take a look and talk through it a bit, refine it, and then go ahead and try and get it working in the game. So deck editor, I can go into here, and I should be able to view the current summary of what's available in here. And I may make some tweaks here because I've been testing out various iterations of this deck and trying to find the one that works best for it. All right, so building a deck in Summoner's Fate. Let's talk a little bit about that for those unfamiliar. First of all, you have a summoner. And the summoner represents your primary character, the one who is attuned to the player. We break the fourth wall in our game. You can see everybody here is sort of looking directly at the player. The game's played in a top-down world. The characters look up at you, so you can command them from the sky like a god and determine their fate and their destiny and so forth. So the summoner is the character that will have access to all the other cards in your game. They cast spells, they place new units on the board, and they're sort of your main leader. Tiny Wolf Cloud says, I squish ants on the daily. Welcome to the stream, Tiny Wolf. I'm glad to have you here with us. Tiny Wolf is one of our long-term pre-release players. He's been with us for quite some time. He is a very strategic player. He's made some very devastating decks. I hope that you're willing to maybe share some of those deck concepts you have with us here today, and I may go ahead and make one of those decks into a starter deck here that other players can fight with the AI controlling your deck if you're up for that. So yeah, we have a lot of fun in our Discord and battling each other. It's a small community so far, but it's a great community, and we're growing, and we're looking to add more players. So definitely check that out. All right, so that's the first step, and right now in the game it looks like we've got just about I think 18 summoners. We created a lot of these together across the different streams on Twitch here, and so Click Click is the Mantis summoner. He's an Impaler, and what makes him notable is that he has flying. So sort of the theme of my insect faction is that they all generally have flying. Most insects have wings, are able to fly, and flying is a huge advantage in our game tactics wise because it allows you to move over other units. So you can fly behind a unit, get behind them, backstab them, and then Click Click also has this harpoon, which works kind of like our gladiator's harpoon. It's kind of like he throws the spear, it sticks the enemy, then it pulls them toward him, and this allows him to generate combos. So when he pulls an enemy in, he gets to do a reactionary attack with his claw, get a second attack, and then any other allies next to him also get to attack. It's really fun. Combo mechanic we've got, something that's not been done before in a tactics game that we're pleased to deliver here. All right, so then with your summoner, for a starter deck, you also get to pick your two starting guardian characters. So guardians are support characters that are typically have special abilities, and they can be a support class. For example, we've got the Preserver here. He is a type of healer character. He also has flying, but more importantly, he's got the support ability where instead of attacking, he can remove debuffs on your allies, so cure things like poison or afflictions. He can also heal their life total. But he also has this very handy benefit that makes all of the insectoid spells cost one less. And so he is the ideal choice for any bug-themed deck as a support character. And then as a secondary character, I've chosen the Griffin because he goes with our theme of flying. He is a amazing first turn assault unit. His major power, aside from flying, is that he can move up to 6 spaces. Most characters in our game move 3, and moving 6 gives him a huge advantage to get behind enemies and to assault quickly in the first turn. He's also got some really good hard-hitting stats that this deck will then support him with his abilities. So then let's take a look at the cards we have. So the decks consist of 20 cards, and we've got a nice selection here. Oh, I guess I should have probably talked a little bit about the colors. So there are 5 colors to the game plus a 6th neutral color, and the colors correspond to the types of magic. Magic is all themed based on the creation story within our world. The universe was born from the void or nothingness, and from that came chaos, celestial intelligence that sort of created order and structure. Arcane has to do with the actual physics of reality, gravity, and psychic energy and things like that. And then nature is sort of how life evolved within that system. And free will are the cards that are not attuned to any particular color. So when you build decks, your summoner is a primary color. So this is a nature summoner, but they all have binary colors of which they can choose their guardians and the cards spells in their deck. So he is a celestial slash nature summoner. So he can pick green gold cards and also the free will cards. Okay, so let's go back to the cards here. All right, so I've got some cards in here, and I'm going to probably go through this entire list again. We're going to kind of try to build this deck from scratch again, even though I've got sort of a basis for it, because we may want to change some things. But let's talk a little bit about like the primary strategy. When I create the starter decks, my intent with them was to create something that would provide a unique theme of opponent to the player. So you're going to be fighting something that feels distinctive from the other starter decks, and you're going to fight something that is also very highly balanced, effective. When I say starter deck for a game, sometimes people will hear that in other games and go, oh, starter deck, that's going to have all the noob cards with the weak stuff, and you're just sort of learning how to play and all that. That's not what a starter deck in Summoner's Fate is. In our game, there's no concept of common or uncommon or rare cards. Our design philosophy for cards is if the card isn't badass and awesome and make you feel like really cool when you play it, then we don't put the card in the game. We have different costs of cards, so some cards are less expensive from a energy point of view to play than others. And so you're going to see some cards that may be more powerful, but that power comes at a cost. So the idea is that every card is awesome in its own right. Every card has a unique tactical advantage. Every card has a reason why you may want to include it in a deck you're building. Hey, the Kelsum, uptime. Welcome, Kelsum. Glad to have you here with us today. This is a very exciting stream. We're actually creating some new starter decks today that will translate into new AI opponents. So I'm excited. At the end of the stream, when folks go and open up Summoner's Fate pre-release, they're going to see a bunch of new decks and have a lot of new AI enemies to do battle against. It's going to be quite exciting. And just kind of to reiterate, this idea was inspired by my son, who was very astute and told me, "Daddy, you got all these awesome characters, but I can only fight 6 of them. I want to fight the other ones. We need to make some new starter decks." And so in the last build, we put a hook in that will allow us to be able to inject new starter decks. Tiny Wolf Cloud says, "The Lion Cat seems interesting. Good thing you can't use the cat with Sibylla Conjurer. I was amazed seeing that card, and the layout of blue on where you can move and attack is cool." Oh yeah, yeah. The exactly the yeah. So I think he's talking about the Griffin here. We recently added an update at the request of players to kind of show a little bit more of tactical preview what's going on. New players to the game didn't understand they all move 3 spaces. They didn't know the range of the characters. So we'll show a little bit of that off as well, because we're going to have to obviously do some play testing to make sure these AI opponents are working correctly. But yeah, right now we're just having kind of a chilled conversation. I'm telling you guys a little bit about how the cards work, how the decks are put together, so we can kind of get ourselves prepped for making this first starter deck. And then once we've got our first starter deck created, I will, of course, love to collaboratively make some other decks with you once you sort of understand the process of kind of what we're doing here. Okay, so I was just talking about my philosophy of the starter decks and the cards. Let's see. Kelsum says the Steam store page for Semantically Muffed went live yesterday. I'm not familiar with that game, but it sounds cool. I'll go check that out afterward. Okay, so we were talking about how the cards in Summoner's Fate are all designed to be awesome, balanced. There's no commons, uncommons. They all have a purpose. Oh, it's our new game. Oh, it's a game that Kelsa made. Okay, fantastic. Well, I'm stoked to check that out then. Semantically Muffed. All right, so we're going to have to go and check that out. That sounds awesome. Very cool. I'm always happy to support other indie devs here. In fact, here maybe I can. Let's see. We'll just tab over here and we'll take a quick look at it. Steam Store, and it's called Semantically Muffed. Here we go. We'll give a little shout out to Kelsum's game here. Steam. Here's the Steam page. Oh, that's not the right thing. Let's try going to your website here. And let's go to. Oh, here it is right here. Cool. Semantically Muffed. Cool. How do I get to the Steam page? Can I click on this? Well, I'm not sure I get to the Steam page. My computer, for some reason, is chugging on this website. But let's take a look at some of the screenshots here. Looks pretty cool. Oh, wow. This looks pretty awesome. Like maybe you can build some things in this game here. Maybe give a give us a quick synopsis of your game here, Kelsum, so we can help spread the word here for you. Based on what I'm saying, though, it looks like you get to construct little things and get to almost. Are you building little robots and then going to fight things with them? It looks kind of like that. It looks interesting. Very cool. And it has a top-down view, and of course, we are huge fans of the top-down perspective here, so that's awesome. Yeah, just looking at your screenshots here, I'd say this looks like a game where you build little robots and go run around through offices and blow each other up, which sounds awesome. Very cool. Awesome. Yeah. All right, so that's on Steam today. Yeah, they're top-down views of people with giant headphones on. Oh, they're giant headphones. Okay, that hence the muffed. Okay, very cool. I love it. Oh, yes. Okay, I see the people now. Okay, so they got yes. Okay, very cool. That's awesome. All right, so definitely check that out, guys. Always good to support fellow indie devs and check out their amazing work. And getting to a launch, especially on Steam, that's a huge accomplishment. So kudos. Kudos to you. All right, I'm going to close this down. And we're going to go back into the game here, and we're going to relog back in. Looks like I timed out. Very cool, man. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the shout out. You got it, man. I'm so thrilled to support fellow indie devs, and I'm pleased to have you guys here with us as well, checking out our development. It's one of my absolute favorite things about being an indie dev is that we are a group of individuals that do this because we're passionate about our work, and we want to see our fellow brothers and sisters doing the same work succeed at what they're doing as well. The pie is big enough that there's enough slices to go around, and we want to help raise each other up and all share in the success. And that's one of the best things about being an indie is that we all sort of have that common spirit toward things. All right, so let's see. We're gonna go back into decks, and we're looking at building our first starter deck today, the Battle Bugs. When Log and Error gets here, we'll have to pool his brain for fun puns. I've got all kinds of ideas. It could be the Battle Bugs, the Band of Bugs, the Bug Apocalypse. I had joked about calling this deck the Birds and the Bees because there's birds in it. Tiny Wolf Cloud. I'm not gonna hate, but your game looks okay. Making games is tough though. To each their own. Everyone's got a different perspective on how games look, how the art style appeals. I know with our own game, the art doesn't appeal to everybody, for example, but that's okay. You can't please everybody with art style, and I still encourage folks always give things a chance because sometimes you get in there and you feel a real sense of connection to the game once you start playing. And great job, my guy, says Tiny Wolf. All right. So yeah. So we talked a little bit about the cards, and we're kind of just going to go through now and sort of talk about the theme of this deck. So I mentioned a little bit that the starter decks are intended to sort of provide a unique experience. And since deck building itself can be a very overwhelming experience, especially if you're a first-time card deck builder player, the starter decks sort of give you a nicely packaged together, very effective strategy. All the star decks in our game right now are capable of beating even the most well-crafted player decks, and I'm proud to say that that's a good indicator of how the balance and such in our game works together. Kelsum says, thanks. We actually hear pretty often at first glance people think they look like robots, which makes sense. Yeah, giant headphones do give that robot vibe, for sure. Okay, so we have currently in our star deck roster, there's a Lich King deck that summons skeletons and is all about summoning undead and draining life. We've got a Pyromancer that's all about blowing things up. So what's the bug deck about, right? That's sort of the first question we have to ask ourselves. And the insect deck, what are insects about? They're a hive mind. They're swarms. They infest and take over, right? They're like the most prolific animal on our planet, the largest animal species on the planet. And so, not surprisingly, we have cards that sort of instill that sense of the swarm within the deck. So we'll kind of start off with the very first staple card of this deck is going to be the swarm. It is this is a spell that creates surrounds an enemy with giant yellow jackets. So just some background here. Yellow jackets are sort of my real life nemesis. They have historically loved to build underground nests near my front door, and when I'm out there doing yard work or people ring the doorbell, they get agitated and swarm up and try to sting you. And they're vicious little insects, and they can be quite potent with their stings and such like that. So of course I have brought them into the game as little nemesis. They're small little 1/1 flyers, but they can inflict poison, and poison within our game is very deadly because it persists until you are cured with a special debuff character, and it will also stacks. So the more poison you have on you, the more damage you take at the start of each subsequent turn. So if your opponent doesn't have a way to deal with it, you can quickly defeat them with poison, and it's a really cool strategy for how to win the game. So this spell normally costs 4, which is very expensive and can be difficult because we only generate 3 mana per turn. But with our Preserver, remember, since it's an insectoid spell, it gets discounted to 3. So this spell is a lot. It can be cast on any turn as a play. And the other cool thing about it is that it summons the Yellow Jackets next to the enemy, which allows you to get them immediately past their initial defense and right in their face, like a swarm of angry bees coming up and getting them. So that's sort of the staple card of the game. And then we've got different things that support that. So one of the characters I've chosen for this deck is the Red Starling. So this is a character again inspired. It's of course an homage to the Starling engine created by Daniel Spurl. We use the Starling engine here to make Summoner's Fate, and so we have a little bird here to sort of honor Daniel Spurl. He's been just an amazing support figure. He's a great community leader. He really stands behind his product and his work, and so I wanted to sort of recognize that. And so the Red Starling's ability is that it supports all of your allies. It gives everybody on your team +1/+1. And it's a great card for a 1 cost. He also flies, so it goes with our theme of flying within our deck. And what this will do is when we create those swarms of insects, the Starlings are great because they're going to give the +1/+1 buff to all those insects. So, you summon some bees, you drop a Starling, and instead of 1/1 Yellow Jackets, you got 2/2 Yellow Jackets. Very cool. All right. What are some other things we've got in here? So this is one of the new cards we had launched in the last update. Ants at a Picnic. Love the artwork on this. Love the theme of this. This was, of course, Kelly's idea for this concept, that the little ants would be carrying people off. And what this does is it summons 2/3 Soldier Ants. Soldier Ants. Which are also flying. And many folks don't know, but ants actually have wings and they fly. You don't see that because most of the drones do not. But when ants are mating, the new queens and males have wings and they'll fly. So to kind of go with our flying theme deck, we decided that our insectoid, humanoid ant creatures are going to have wings and fly because it kind of gives them a unique edge. So similar to the other swarm card, this is basically another swarm generation card. It's a little bit harder to play because the ants all go on adjacent spaces, so you don't always get all 4 ants. It's hard to get 4 ants, but when you do, it's really powerful. So that's a cool card. And then some other cards we have in here, different things to support that. The Wolf Spider Mother. This is a very distinctive card. Real wolf spiders, the mothers carry the babies on their back. And so you can see here that the spider's got a bunch of little baby spiders attached to it. And so when the mother gets hurt in the game, she'll drop 2 of her babies on the board and basically make little 1/1 guys. Tiny Wolf Cloud says, "Man, Ants at a Picnic is interesting as well." Yes, this is going to be a really fun deck. I hope that the AI can play it effectively, but we're going to find out. And so this one summons little spiderlings when they die. And again, all those little 1/1 characters are going to be bolstered by our Red Starling, so that's going to help add to that effect. All right, so then what are some other things we have in here? We've got our Gargantuant. So this is another humanoid insectoid creature, but it's a giant soldier ant, huge mandibles, huge claws. He is also flying, which makes him terrifying. Looks like a giant Mothra when he's got his wings out. And his special ability is that when he attacks a unit that has 3 or less life, he attacks again. So normally a 4 damage is already pretty strong. He's got a lot of health. But when you're fighting an enemy that has, let's say, 7 life, he can do his 4 attack and then get a free bite attack. He's sort of joke that he bites your head off at the end when he does his little finishing move. So he's pretty cool. I had debated about having him be one of the Guardians, but I like the Griffin as a starting and him as a summonable because he'll get that discount from the Preserver. So it makes him even more easy to get out onto the board. All right, and then let's see, we've got some Scorpions in here. Scorpions aren't technically insects, neither are spiders for that matter, but they would both qualify as bugs. Bugs is sort of the slang that encompasses insects, arachnids, any kind of creepy crawly stuff. Kelsum says Griffin for the win. Oh yes, the Griffin is a very highly strategic character in this deck. Given the other abilities we have that will support it. So Scorpions, they're a really cool unit. They cost 2 normally. Again, they'll be discounted down to 1 with our Preserver. And what they do is whenever they're attacked, they have a reactionary sting with their tail, and they inflict 2 poison. So they're really great. Every unit in the game counterattacks, so you can send a Scorpion in, get your 2 damage, and then when the enemy counterattacks back, they'll get a free sting that bypasses their armored defenses. So they're really great as well. Another nice poison inflicting thing. So we got bees that cause poison. We got scorpions that cause poison. We've also just got some poison because why not just go ahead and throw some poison on things to kind of go with our theme. And then let's see what other things I put in here. Oh, Tiny Wolf says, I love the Gargantuan. Just boost up and he is boosts up his attack, and he is deadly. He is exactly. So now let's talk about the spells. We kind of gave you an idea of the units in the game. Now here's some of the spells that support that. So Bloodlust is an awesome spell. It gives you +3 attack, and it lasts as long as you keep attacking. So unless the enemy finds a way to retreat, get out of range, or immobilize your character, Bloodlust is a very low-cost spell with a very high damage boost that is permanent as long as you keep bloodlusty being attacking things. So that works great with the Griffin. It works great with the Gargantuan. It also works great with the Summoner because, as I mentioned, he's got that 2 attack, right? But he can attack twice when he throws his harpoon, and he pulls him and he gets a second attack. So Bloodlusting Click himself comes down to let's see, he makes him a 5 attack. It turns him into a 10 power attack, which is pretty awesome. So very, very powerful combination there. And then I've also got the Celestial Champion. This doubles the ally's power. This works very effectively with the Griffin because it turns him into an 8 power. Very effective with the Gargantuan because it doubles him to an 8. And this has no negative constraint about not having to attack. So this is a very good buff spell. Costs a little more, requires a Celestial Magic, but it's really good. We got the Hyperspeed. Flying units are all about their mobility, and hyperspeed doubling an ally's movement gives you massive tactical advantage, especially when used on your summoner. Let's see what else we got. Some good defensive spells, so we can counter off enemy things. Celestial Barrier is one of the new cards we added in the last version. Counters range attacks, counters spells cast an ally, very low cost. One of the cool things about Summoner's Fate is that we've got this whole rock, paper, scissors thing that goes on. So really powerful spells like a fireball or a disintegrate that can just decimate your opponent in a one-shot are very cost-heavy. And a one-cost Celestial Barrier can give you an instant advantage. So you're sort of playing the economics of power against each other, right? This spell in itself not very powerful, but when used against a high power damage card, instantly has magnitudes more value. But opponents can be smart about it. They may just go ahead and dink you with a Goblin Archer, and then it uses the 1 cost, and then you sort of wasted the mana. So it has its trade-offs, but generally this is a very good counter spell type card. Yeah, and then let's see, Celestial Mirror, or Reflect Damage, I guess it was also called Celestial Mirror. Another surprise card. When the enemy attacks, reflects the damage. So another good counter for situations where the opponent can get you in a bind. We've also got Slow Time in here. This is the one I was thinking may be out of place. We may try to find another card to replace it with. It's also very effective as a counter, but it can have it's a little bit more cost heavy. And I'm not sure how well it fits in the theme of this deck. So I guess kind of what we're going to do now is just sort of browse through. I don't know that I perfected this deck. This is sort of the one I played multiple versions of the bug deck I've created, and so that's where I wanted to use this as a starting point for the starter deck. But we're going to take a look at some other cards and characters and see if there's anything else that might fit into this deck and its theme. So we got our elves here. These are all humanoids. They don't really fit with the bug and bird and nature theme yet. There's argument that we could swap in another Celestial Barrier instead of the Slow Time because it helps reduce our average mana cost. So that's one possibility. Another card I like in here is a Celestial Shield. So this is a very low cost card. But it can easily be like countered by a 1/1 attacking your character, and then it doesn't get much value. But it's also very good. We don't have any other healing or recovery spells in the deck. We rely entirely on the Preserver. So there is, some argument that maybe say bring something else in case he gets defeated. Let's see what else we've got in here. So Revive is another choice that may be good for bringing back the Griffin or the Preserver if they should be defeated. Lion's Fury is another one. This gives you immunity to immobilize. One of the weaknesses I've discovered with the Insectoid is when they're immobilized, they can be defeated very quickly. So that's a possibility for something we could include. Swift Strike is another really fun one. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and put that one in there just because I just love this card, especially after we upgraded it in the last build. So this is another great defensive card. When the enemy attacks back, you get to strike first, but your damage is boosted. So it's a really fun surprise card, kind of like a quick reflex type of thing. So I decided to swap out the Slow Time, put that in instead, just to have something different. Vigilant is also fun. This could be a very effective card, especially with characters like the Griffin. I'm just not sure which card to replace now. These are all good choices. Arguably, maybe one of the spiders we could drop out, put another surprise card in. Could be an interesting choice. If you guys have thoughts, please feel free to shout out because I'm just sort of thinking out loud here how the AI may play this deck and what may be the most effective choice. I guess one of my concerns is I don't know if the AI is going to recognize how the vigil works. It may. I would be surprised within the simulation it may detect it. The Kelsum says, is surprise like Magic the Gathering instant? Can be played at any time, even in response to another effect? Excellent question. So Summoner's Fate does not allow play of cards during your opponent's turn. And we did that just to keep it simple because it would require a lot of very particular timings and slow the game down to allow opponents to play cards during their opponent's turn. It also doesn't work with our asynchronous play. So Summoner's Fate can be played, or it can't yet, but it will be playable asynchronously, where you take your turn, it notifies your opponent, then they can take their turn, and you can play over several days like a Words with Friends. So what we did for that instead is we use surprises. And what a surprise is, let me open one up here. So you play the card on your turn, and surprises are always played on a permanent on the board. So in this case, I would play, let's say I played Swift Strike on the Gargantuan. The opponent would see a surprise has been played, and they won't know who the target is or what the card is or how much it cost. All they'll know is I got to look out for something that could happen. And when the condition of the surprise card is met, it will automatically trigger. So on the opponent's turn, if they were to go and attack the Gargantuan that has a Swift Strike, it would say, surprise has been triggered. And you see all these little particle effects and fireworks and stuff. It would show the Swift Strike card, and then it would grant its ability instantly, and the ant would get to attack first and probably defeat whatever was attacking it. Kelsum says, big fan of that. I used to play the Magic the Gathering video game and hated when you had to wait for the opponent's timer to see if they'd respond to your actions mid-turn. I also have played the digital Magic, what was it called again? Planeswalkers, Duel of the Planeswalkers. It was one of my favorite games to play, especially at my last job, where yeah, we would all play the team games together and such. Very cool game. But yeah, the timer had the propensity to both slow the game down and also make it very difficult to know when to time your instance. So we sort of did away with that, made it a little bit simpler with this trigger mechanic instead. But it definitely gives you the feel of like the instant or the interrupt from Magic the Gathering, which we really like. All right, let's look at some other cards here we may consider for the Insectoid deck. Let's see, we got some nature, some animals. There's cause to maybe include just some one-off characters, you know. So he would come to a 0 cost, which would be pretty cool, just to put some bugs directly in there. It's a possible option. These are what the soldier ants look like, by the way. And these are all summoned by our ants at a picnic. So they're kind of cool. They're a hybrid armature that consists of the insectoid and humanoid body, which is cool. Okay, looking at some other cards here. Integral is fun. Immobilize the enemies. And let's see, here's our different healing spell choices we have. This is another one that can be kind of fun, although we've kind of got the Starlings already doing this. And it's more beneficial if you've got an Orc theme deck, Orc or Goblin. I'm trying to look at some other things. Regeneration, Poison Breath is a possible choice. So this gives everybody within a cloud Poison 2. That's kind of a fun one. And since Click Click's going to be getting up in your business anyway, that might be fun to maybe consider. Maybe we could consider swapping one of the poisons out with the Poison Breath. That would give the chance to poison even more enemies at once. So what do you guys think about that? Give it some more diversity. Go Poison Breath. That could be fun. Poisons cost less, and they have a further range, but this has more AoE damage. I'll keep it in the back of mind. I used to use the Poison Blade in this deck, but I changed the rules for equipment because I used to allow Click Click to harpoon you, but it didn't make sense to harpoon you with the dagger, so I took that, made that not happen anymore. All right, so it looks like we're down to the free will characters now, and let's just see if there's any other types of creatures we might follow suit into here. I have definitely rolled the insect deck with the Manticore before, but that was before I had all these other insect choices. He's great just because he matches our theme. He's flying and poisonous. If he was a bug, he would definitely fit well with this deck. And see, orcs and trolls. We got equipment here. Cover of Shadows, another great super defensive card. Okay, so there's a few possibilities for things we could swap in and out. It comes down to spells. But I feel like this iteration is pretty strong and worth giving a shot, sort of just how we have it. Um, so we'll look at this one more time here. You can kind of get an idea of the different things. I put the bid as 1. That's usually a good first turn bid. And then average mana 2.3. Okay, so pretty decent there. No equipment, 13 spells, 7 units. Although we know we have a lot more units with our cards here. These summon lots of units. So there is an argument to say we could potentially swap out maybe one of the spiders or one of the birds with another spell instead if we want to try balancing it. But let's go ahead and say that this is the deck we're going to build, and we'll give that a shot. I'm going to go ahead and screenshot this. Oops. Let's see, so I can reference it when we go to actually build it. And we're going to go ahead and get out of the game, and we're going to put this into the definitions editor and then test it out. Okay, so exit game. Okay, and now we're going to launch our tool. And I'm going to go to my decks, and I'm going to go to the bug deck. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and call this the Battle Bugs, unless you guys would like to suggest another name. Again, alternatively, I had Birds and the Bees. I thought was kind of funny because we got birds and bees in the deck, and it's sort of funny. I like funny. Every one of the decks currently has some funny names, like the Cold Hearteds, the Unshakables, the Squirrel Hurlers. I mean, they're just sort of weird little names that kind of get you excited what might be included there. So if you got thoughts, creative names for the deck, right now we'll just call it Battle Bugs, but I'm more than willing to change that. Kelsum says 1 vote for Birds and the Bees. 1 vote for Birds and the Bees. Yeah, Birds and Bees. Birds and the Bees. It's pretty funny. Battle Birds and Bees. I'm not sure if that might be too long. Battle Birds and Bees. if that would work or not. Battle Birds and Bees. Maybe I could make it a little shorter, so I just use the and symbol. Battle Birds and Bees. Or the Birds and the Bees. We'll see how we feel about Birds and the Bees. I think it's got to be Birds and the Bees. It has to have the and in there, otherwise it's not funny. Let's save that. Okay. All right, so we got our Click Preserver, the Griffin. All right, let's get rid of these other cards. I'm not sure what these were doing in here. All right, and we're going to go ahead and add those cards in the deck. All right, so just off of memory, I know that we had the Swarm card in here. Agreed, and is necessary for the reference. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it has to be and, otherwise it's not funny. I almost want to say birds and the bees, like that. We'll see if that fits. All right, so we know we've got. I'm just going off of memory here, and then we'll look to our screenshot. There was 2 swarms. We had 2 ants at a picnic in there. Okay, we had 2 poisons in there. P for poison. Okay, we had a 2 wolf spiders. So let's change this to unit. Let's see, wolf spider mother. W. W Ross. W. W-O, wolf spider mother. 2 of those. Okay. What other characters were there? There were 2 starlings. So let's get the red starling in there. Red starling. R for red is after Q. Red starling. 2 of those. Okay. And let's see what else do I remember. I know we had that celestial. What's it called here? Celestial barrier. That's a spell though, not a unit. Oh, let's put Gargantuan in here. Remember that was one of the ones we had. So Gargantuan G for Gargantuan. One of those. Good. All right. And then we had a. Let's go back to spells now. I think that's all the units we had. Celestial barrier was one of them. I know we decided to throw in that samurai thing at the last minute. What was that called? Swift Strike. Okay, Swift Strike. And what else was in that deck? We have our 2 poisons. We got the Swift Strike. All right, let's look at our screenshot here. Oh, Celestial Champion. Oh, the 2 Bloodlusts. Let's get the Bloodlusts. The Bloodlusts are pretty key to this deck. Bloodlust. 2 of those. We had 1 Celestial Champion. Sort of went all in on the buff spells. Arguably, we might want to change out this guy here with something more defensive because we've got very aggressive Bloodlust in this, but only a couple defensive spells. It might be worth having something that would give us more defense. Maybe another barrier would be good to throw in there just so that we're not helpless against the enemy here. Also, more surprises are fun because it throws the opponents off as to what we could be casting the more surprises you have. Yeah. Well, we'll play the AI and see how well they do. All right, so we got Celestial Champion. Oh, Hyperspeed. That was a very important card. Hyperspeed. Give me a Hyperspeed. I'm curious if the AI will play that. That'll be interesting to see if they recognize the use of Hyperspeed. I do plan to make an AI 3.0 before we launch Final Worldwide, which will obviously improve and make the final AI very effective at all the cards. Okay, so we got our poisons. Did we put our scorpions in yet? I don't think I saw scorpions. I guess we forgot to put the scorpions in. Let's go back to units. We had 2 scorpions. SC. So many good choices for this deck. It's hard to narrow it down. Okay, 2 Bloodlust, 2 Scorpions. We got him. We got this. We got this. We got that. We got our 2 Spider Mothers. We got Swift Strike. Oh, Reflect Damage is the other one. I think that might be the last card we have to put in. Let's see. We'll just count up the total here, and I think we've got them all. Reflect Damage 1. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so that has all of the cards that we had in our little visual preview there. Okay, this will be called Birds and the Bees. And, oh, first turn bid is 1. Okay, great. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and test it and play it against the AI. But to help with that, so we don't have to worry about getting filtered with the other AIs, what I'm going to do is I'm going to deactivate. Do I want to deactivate the other starter decks? Let me think about that. Tiny Wolf Class says, I want more players in Summoner's Fate. Ross, do something. I'm doing stuff. I'm doing all kind. I'm doing the stream. I'm telling people about the game. We're actually going to be at a showcase next week. We'll be at Salt Lake Game Con. So I'll be here with the local Utah gamers. It's going to be exciting. Get some more players for you guys. And of course, I appreciate our players' help. Tell a friend. Let your buddies know this game's awesome. Get them to come play the game with us. We would love to have you guys here with us. So it's a community effort. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to deactivate some of these other starter decks. We got to remember to make sure we put these back when we're done. I'm going to leave the Pyromancer because I'm going to use that to play against the AI and test it. Let's say none for that, and say none for this. I much wish I could just like keep the deck so I could fight them with those. All right, uncheckables none. I'm just doing this so that we don't have to worry about cycling through all the AI opponents. We'll hopefully get the bugs up here right away. Let's turn this off. Okay, so Battle Bugs is active. Pyromancer is active. Okay. All right, so we've created the new definition. I'm going to close this down. And this is the awesome way in which we're going to make this now throw in the game. Timebo says, all right, cool, thanks. All right, excellent. Okay, and we want to go to local store. Resources, yes. This is our local definitions, and I'm going to throw it into the local definitions here. So this would be sort of a test of our definition. And now when I boot up the game, it's going to have all of those new characters in the starter deck. Let's see if it worked. Dun 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 dun. Oh, let's see. It still has the other. Oh, these are custom decks. Okay. There we go. All right, so we got our 2 starter decks Pyromaniacs and Birds and the Bees. All right, we're going to be the Pyromaniacs. We're going to fight the bugs of fire and see what happens. Okay, and make sure all my test options are off. Okay, good. We're going to go ahead and fight, and hopefully we get matched with the battle bugs. Let's see what we get. They're either going to be battle bugs or pyromancers. Of course it was pyromancers, so we're going to concede this. See, I should probably do, let's, I don't want to have to be restarting the game each time, so here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to copy this deck. How do I do that again? I go into here and I said copy. There should be a copy button. Yeah, here we go. Yes. I've reached the max deck limit. Oh, geez. All right, let me go back to my starter decks in here and see what I've got in my decks. What was this? Looks like an older version of the bug deck. Let's see what this one was. Oh yeah, let's delete this version of it. I'll screenshot just in case. All right, delete that. And now I will copy out the pyromancers just so that we've got go into here and say copy. Because I just want to get a feel for playing a starter deck versus a starter. I'm going to exit this one more time. Okay, I'm going to fire this up. Okay. I'm going to go into my decks one more time, and we're going to make it so the Pyromaniacs will no longer be a starter deck for now, just for our testing. Because we want to make sure the AI opponent's always going to pick the one choice it has. The bugs, resources. Okay. Okay. Fire it up. Okay. And let's take a look here. I should be able to go in here custom. Oh, I'm already the Pyromancer as I already had him selected, so that's cool. But if we wanted to take a look at, all right, let's just go ahead and fight these guys. All right, so now my opponent has to be the bugs. So that's the only starter deck the AI has. I'm excited. This is the first time I'll be fighting the AI with this deck I made. I get to go first. All right. Well, looks like the only card I can cast is a Marauder, so I'll send my guys up there. Probably want to get her in range to be able to start seeing stuff. So, wow, those guys are right behind a wall there. It's hard to see them. I guess I'll put her over here, and we'll put this guy out. I do not hear any sound. Do you guys hear sound? Not sure why the game's not. I don't hear any audio. Do you guys hear game sound? I'm just curious if it's coming through or not. Just give me a shout if you can hear like the clicks here. It's probably because of SoundCloud is like crashed or something and no longer outputting sound, but it'd be nice to have audio coming through. No sound. Yeah, that's a shame. Let me see if I can tweak that really quick. This should be coming through Soundflower, but I don't hear it either myself, which is strange. Huh. Just trying to think why the sound would not be working. It's always a challenge. Maybe it's, huh. I am most perplexed. I should hear sound here. Game options, and it's not just an audio problem, huh? You know what? I don't know. I'm sorry. We'll have to play without sound today, so I don't have a chance to fix that. All right, let's get him up there and end my turn. Dun, 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 dun. I'll make the sound effects myself. He's gonna go squawk, bite, bug, hoot. All right, so that was pretty effective. Yeah, so that was a harpoon in action where he throws a harpoon, pulls you in, kind of Scorpion, Mortal Kombat style there. And we're going to burn some bugs. Man, I really wish I had the sound because they have such great sound. Like, yeah, he's burning now. We'll burn him again. How quickly can I take down this bug? I don't know. Let's see. Let's go knock him with this guy. Take that. And that. Now you're in big trouble. I'm going to be brutal, man. Take this AI down a peg. Wow, this AI is bold. Just ripping right in there. Oh, see, that was a massive combo there. He got the Griffin and all those guys all together. So it looks like the AI is playing pretty aggressively. I would have thought a smart AI might have healed first. Oh wow, they're just going all out of here. Get the bird in there attacking, suicide the bird. That's an odd strategy, but hey. Really go all in on that guy. Okay, so obviously the AI is going to get slaughtered now because we're just going to go ahead and bop him. Take that. Die! Just burn everything to the ground. Alright, well, it was a quick battle. Let's try it again. I'm just looking for, it worked. That the first concern was would the AI have a crash or anything like that. It looks like it didn't, so that's good. And I'm kind of looking to see how effectively the AI can figure out what it's got in its hand and stuff like that. Alright, I'm going to try it in a few different maps and see how it feels. Get my people in there. Let's get this fire elemental out there. Guess I'll put him back over there. And can I see anybody? I can see this guy. Take that. Alright, let's see what bugs I've got here. What do you got for me, bugs? Now, see, that was a really odd choice, but I guess it makes sense because it wouldn't be able to harpoon that. I don't know why the AI would do that and then throws the spider on the traps. Oh, okay, because it summoned spiders that way. Interesting. And oh yeah, so sometimes the AI does things that are interesting. I don't anticipate why it does it, but I guess putting on the trap tile is smart because it got extra spiders out. Um, I can't see who wrote this, but it said, "Did anyone tell you your price is high?" I'm just asking. Maybe people want to play, but I know you are a hard worker with only a team of 3, which is amazing. I'm just asking about if you got any feedback on the pricing. Yeah, absolutely. I'll speak very wholeheartedly to the pricing. Hands down, so we sell our pre-release for $30, which is on the upper end of what most indie developers will sell their games for. I've seen indie game price ranges anywhere between $15 to $30. Um, I will say wholeheartedly, I think that the price is by far the best value you'll ever get for entertainment hours to dollars spent ratio. Right? So you can go to the movies right now and spend $20 to see a movie, and you're entertained for 2 hours. You go home and you're done. You can go to Starbucks and spend $7 on a coffee, drink it in 5 minutes, and you're done. You can pay $30 for Summer's Fate and have endless hours, hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay, and entertainment and fun. And the great thing about it is it just keeps getting better as we add more content. So already there's over 200 cards in the game. We add more each day. Today I'm going to be adding a whole new opponent to the game, so there's more value there. So yeah, I think the price is spot on. If anything, it maybe should be more, but I understand there are limits to what people perceive as the right amount. But yeah, and then compare it to other AAA games as well. We've got $60 is sort of the average spend if any Xbox or even Switch premium game. And again, in terms of pure hours of content and replayability, we've got single player, multiplayer, asynchronous play, the ability to play on your phone, which other games don't offer. So yeah, I'd say I'd say it's a pretty good value. I think the price is good, and I want people to see and recognize that value. My wife and I often talk about that, like when indies compromise their price or their value, it just sort of creates a negative connotation. Like this is a premium, amazing product. You want this. It's gonna be a ton of fun. I'm not gonna take and cheapen it by saying it's only worth $10 because it's worth a heck of a lot more than that. So yeah. Any questions about that though? Feel free to ask. I'm always happy to answer any questions about the price and where I think the value is at. I guarantee you'll have fun, and we've got by far the best support service, even with the team of 3, which says a lot about how much we care and put heart into this product. So yeah, any further details you want to read, they're on our pre-release. We've got a website that talks about that. In fact, I'll pull that up real quick just in case anyone wants to take a look. Um, Here, coming soon, learn more. Click under here and see Summer's Fate pre-release. Why should I buy the game now versus waiting, and why the price point? Take a look at those 2 paragraphs there as well. I got a little bit more information that goes into some more detail. Okay, so let's go back into our battle here and finish off these bugs. All right, so they very cleverly surrounded me with a bunch of weak characters I can't get past. I think my first move is going to be to kill this spider. I'm going to torch these guys over here, burn all the little spiderlings. Let's get rid of the bird. Let's firebomb these guys over here. And I guess Fire Elemental's kind of stuck there, so we'll just hold off there. All right, so let's continue on and see what happens next. All right, so AI is thinking. How much time we got here on the timer? 50. Oh, cool. All right, so responding. All right, Celestial Champion. Looks like they buffed the Griffin. So here's that Griffin now as an 8 attack character. And going right for the throat against my Summoner. Okay, good. That's a good. And the AI is healing itself. Good. All right, so I'm feeling better. I want to see the AI beat me. That's what I want to have happen. I want to know that they're a worthy team. All right, so right now our immediate threat is this Griffin. We've got to get rid of him. So we're gonna go after him with the Fire Elemental. There you go. He takes damage. He kills the Fire Elemental, but he takes an extra 3 damage, and now we can get this guy in here to get rid of that Griffin. We do not want to be Griffin to death. Okay, then let's move her up because I want to roast some bugs. All right, let's get him over here. We'll go attack this guy, and then roast the bugs. Burn him! Yeah! And then can I reach him? Oh, nope, we can't see him. Okay, so I guess that's it for this turn. All right, let's see what the bugs come back with here. Oh! Oh! Okay, that was a great. I'm gonna replay that just so you guys can watch it again. All right, so this is the great thing about the AI and how it works. What makes the AI effective as a player is that it will see possibilities that may not always appear obvious to players, or that maybe do appear obvious to players, but it does it very fast. So the AI will test all of its possible attack maneuvers, and I didn't even see this move when I placed her there, but the AI did. So I'm gonna replay it and pause it. So look at the positioning here. The bug here has a range of 3 in that harpoon, and I told you to pull things into the harpoon and then get a combo attack. So it could have got, like, I was sort of thinking the bug might come down here and pull me in over there. That's what I was thinking, because that's sort of the easy shortcut answer for attacking. But instead, the bug chose to go all the way over here and pull me in, which caused me to trigger this trap as well as the spike trap over. No, I think just this spike trap. And then it got the combo attack as well. Maybe it did get 2 combo attacks because it was next to the spike trap. I think it did. I think it triggered 2 combo attacks. Um, and so it dealt a ton of extra damage. But we'll go ahead and watch that again. So it heals, comes over here, pulls me in. Looks at here's the 2 damage. Oh yeah, okay. Looks like it was just 1. It was the 2 damage. These deal 2 damage. Yeah. So it got to bolster its attack. I got 2 for its attack, 2 for the spike, and then 2 for the combo attack. So it brought me down to 6. That was awesome to see the AI do that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and trigger a combo attack of our own. By using my knockback unit, I got to get a secondary attack out of her. And then we're also going to go ahead and pelter him with that. And then we're going to bolt the bug. Do I have enough to kill it? 5 damage. No, I don't. And if I do that, I'll be, ooh, can I do that? Oh, yes. Boom! Everybody dies but me. All right, so we defeated the bugs. But they played very effectively, which is great. I generally always beat the AI because I made the game, so I know how to beat them. But let's try fighting with another team. Who else do I have that I can fight the AI with? I just want to just give it a different shot, fighting him with different things. I'll try fighting with my Archlich deck. Let's give it another whirl. So this is just having a little fun here and making sure this AI deck's solid. We'll do one more battle here and see how worthy the AI is with the bugs. All right, let's teleport in and go for the throat on this guy. And then let's get our minions in. All right, so what's the AI gonna do with the bugs? Oh, they're playing a surprise. And they're poisoning someone, probably me. Oh no! Maybe teleporting in wasn't such a great idea. Oh, reflect damage. That was evil. Oh dear. So we're in some trouble. I got a little bold there. All right, we'll take care of that. We're gonna use the little girl, the Ashiri. What's great about her, she's got taunt, so this will make it so that enemies have to attack the taunter. So now I'm safe from the Griffin. I'm not too worried about facing off against this guy because we can recover our life back from him. In fact, what we're gonna do is we're gonna power steal. We're gonna summon a shadow, and then we're gonna attack with the shadow from the rear. You're gonna love this. Watch. So this'll. So now he's down to just 1 power left, and I'm gonna go ahead and suck out some life from him. heal myself back, and he only does 1 damage. So there we go. Lich King can hold his own. Kelsum says, the Griffin! Yeah, Griffin's pinned now. He's going to have to fight the Ashiri. And let's move in the Skeleton Giant to come after Click Click, and let's see what happens. All right, so what do you got for me, AI? Oh, the Gargantuan! Gargantuan! Oh, okay, so he's making use of that flying attack to get the rear attack. That was a smart move. Keeping the Griffin alive with the healer. That's also a solid strategy. Okay, good. I forgot I was poisoned, so we're definitely going to go ahead and milk some more life out of this guy. And then I'm going to summon the Flesh Golem, which is sort of my insurance policy. When the Flesh Golem summon, any damage dealt to my summoner just gets redirected to him. It's kind of like we have a life link agreement. I take damage, you pay the bill, says the Lich King to the Flesh Golem. So we'll go attack him. And then, oh, do I want to go after the ant? Let's get the ant out of my way. I don't want him coming after me. So luckily I've got the immobilize, so that'll pin the ant down. And then, yeah, sure, we'll go ahead and attack the Griffin. And then I still got my shadow. I guess we'll go after this guy. Okay. So what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? Here comes the... Oh, from the front. Why would he go from the front when he had a perfectly good rear attack? See, that was unusual. I'm not sure why the move... Maybe to get out of range of these two guys is all I'm thinking here. All right. Are you up for a game, D20 Studios? Says Tiny Wolf. I would love to play. Let's do it after the stream just because I want to get some more testing in on this build here. I would love to. Also, this build will be incompatible because I'm using a new definitions file, so we'll be out of sync until I post the update. But yes, I would love to play. All right, and then let's finish him off the shadow. All right, so it looks like our insect deck is playable. Again, the AI strategy could be improved, but again, I'm a very advanced player, so we're sort of kicking their butts here. But I'll throw them in there, and we'll get some player feedback. And if you guys see any improvements, the AI do any weird things, we'll be okay. At least we know that the AI will play the deck and make a pretty good attempt at a strategy there, and hopefully provide some challenges for players. Okay, so that's one starter deck created. This will be a new opponent that we can add to the game immediately following the stream. Let me check our time here. Got about an hour to go. So let's go ahead and create another starter deck. And I have absolutely no idea what kind of deck we want to create yet. But we're gonna the requirements for the starter deck I have is I want to have a summoner that hasn't been used yet, and 2 guardians that have not been used in the starting lineup yet, so that it feels distinctive to our other starter deck rosters. Let's go to my decks here. I'm going to probably need to clear a slot. Let's get rid of this one. That was just a copy of the Pyromancers. Delete deck. Okay. All right, so let's make a new deck here. And all right, so here's some choices. Here's decks cards we haven't used yet. We have not yet made a Dark Elf Sorcerer deck, or a Serpenta deck, or a Battle Mage deck. This could be a fun one, Battle Mage. An Orc deck, an Orc Star deck. This could very well be. In fact, I'm kind of feeling the Orc. I saw his face, and I'm thinking that might be a good next start. Sybilla is also a very incredibly awesome choice, and I've got some great ideas for how we can implement her. I'd like to make at least 2 more decks today. Priestess has not been done yet. Kaelin has not been done. Wizard is still open. Rugged Mage has not been done. So these are our choices. I'm looking for feedback, guys. Give me a shout out. What's exciting to you? What do you feel you want next in an AI opponent? Big old bloodthirsty orc, Sybilla the Conjurer, who's just gonna create an army of summons and have a very long-lasting life with her support ability. Kind of like an evil witch conjurer. Battle Mage. He's got the ability to add like physics to any of the damage spells. Could be interesting. I'm not sure how the AI will handle that, but I'm sure they'll figure out something. All right, I'm going to give you guys another minute to respond, or I'm just going to sort of go with my gut here on the next starter deck we're going to make. I'm going to take some water. All right, time's up. I'm going to make an orc deck. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so who are we going to put in the orc deck? Well, I think clearly thematic-wise, I think an Orc Shaman seems appropriate, right? We have a nice healer there. It's Orc themed. Awesome. All right, what else is an appropriate Orc starting character? Would be fun. Oh man, there's so many great choices here for big old things that could go into an Orc deck. Big old Mountain Troll could be fun. We've got, oh man, let's see here. Maybe this crazy looking Chimera thing, kind of chaos looking, like a big old beast. Magma Giant, it could be fun. Who do we want for that starting character in the Orc deck, huh? Who do we want? Feeling Mountain Troll. Maybe I'm feeling Mountain Troll. He's a great starting character. Kind of goes with the Orc themes. Or Chimera. Also kind of fun and cool. Because I'm trying to think what else goes with the Orc theme here. Wish I had another Orc themed character that we could put in the summoner lineup so it'd be all Orcs starting. All right. Any thoughts, guys? Chimera, Mountain Troll. Pick a team. Pick a team. All right. I'm going to go with Mountain Troll. We'll start with that. Okay. So, little things about the Orcs. One thing we know about Dorkslayer is he's going to summon goblins after his attack. He's also got knockback, which I think makes the Troll a good combination as well because you got the double knockback going on, which is great. So let's go for cards. One thing I know for certain, so he's going to summon goblins. There is a specific Orc card I know called the Orc Battlehorn. This one, yeah. All allies get +1/+1. Orcs and goblins get +2/+2. Anytime I see things like this where we can exploit the rules and get an extra bonus, those are great deck builder components. So we're going to pick 2 of those. All right, let's turn our filter off. Let's search for Orc and Goblin cards. So we can fill our deck up with those. All right, great. Goblin Archers, yep, love it. Goblin Assassins, love it. Goblin Warriors, yeah, give me those. Let's just fill up with Orcs. And the Huntress, oh yeah. All right, that may be too many summons, so we'll come back and narrow that down. But I'm just looking, oh, and then Orc Warriors, yes. Excellent. Okay, so we loaded up with Orc summons. All right, and we'll probably come back and change those out. But I just want to get a nice little starting lineup of characters there. All right, so what kind of spells? We want spells. Let's look and try and find some spells here, and then we'll switch around. All right, so what's some good possible spells for Orc? Maybe a Chain Lightning could be fun. Do some damage. Fire Breath is a great card because Orc's gonna be up and personal. It's a good melee direct damage spell for low cost. Awesome. What else do we got here? Could be fun. Could be fun. Fire Trap. Ooh, surprises are always interesting and fun. Maybe throw one of these in. Ooh, a Fire Shield could be quite interesting, especially for a melee unit like an Orc. Giant Meteor, 5 damage, and units take surrounding take 5. Let's see what else we got. Wall of Fire, Roar. This is an excellent surprise card for an Orc deck. Let's throw one of those in. Counter. Oh, this has got the Orcs on it. Let's throw that in there right off the cuff there, just for the art. Okay, any kind of nature spells we got here. Let's see here. Poison Breath could be a good one, although we don't really have other poison-themed things in here. Tiny Wolf says, are trolls the same as goblins? They are not. They are not. Trolls are their own thing. All right. Regeneration, Polymorph, Cover of Shadows. Oh, Bloodlust. Heck yeah. We need to have bloodthirsty Orcs. That sounds appropriate. Okay. All right, so I feel like we still got too many units in this deck, and we don't really have any big, like, hard-hitting cost things yet. I want something that's going to cost more mana and be like the big sort of finisher type of thing. We want we want at least 1/5 cost thing in here. Let's resort our deck by just give me what's the most expensive cards we can put in this deck. See what strikes us here. So Red Dragon we've already used in the Pyromancer deck. Is that really the most expensive? Oh, these are the most expensive units. Sort this by, just give me the purely by cost. Okay, here we go. 4 traps are good because they don't go away after use. Oh, I think he means the fire trap. Yeah, fire trap. Yeah, that's a fun card. Ooh, yes, Hydra. We're throwing a Hydra in this deck. That's the clincher I want. I want something that's like a big, beefy, evil looking. Yeah, Hydra. Okay, so now we've got like a nice staple, big, beefy monster that goes with the orcs. Love it. That sounds fun. Okay, what other cool things can we throw in there? I'm thinking Chimera could be interesting. Another interesting unit. What's the Chimera do again? He's like a combination knockback, pierce, and poison. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this should be a pretty effective deck, I think. I'm trying to think if there's other things we want to swap in or out here. I feel like more spells would be good. Like I probably want to swap out one of these goblins for like a spell or something like that. But what other spells? Like a fireball is always good. Let's give him a fireball. What do I replace for the fireball? Get rid of a goblin archer or get rid of a spear guy? We're going to have a lot of melee. Let's just get rid of one spear guy. Let's put a fireball in there. Give him some more direct damage options. Okay. Other things that could be fun to throw in this deck here. Ooh, a blue troll. Maybe a blue troll could be fun. Oh, we've already got a lot of other units though, so I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Trolls aren't the same as orcs and goblins. Okay. Okay. Poison breath is another interesting direct damage, but again, since we don't have other poison causing things, it's not necessarily the best choice. We've got a 1, 2. How many surprises we have? 1, 2 surprises. I thought we had a third. Oh, 3 surprises. Okay. 3 surprises. Oh, a cleansing fire is probably good. So he's got something that can get rid of things. Tiny Wolf, I think I'm going to go now because my internet is starting to suck. Sorry to hear that, buddy. All right. Well, it was good having you on the stream here. And of course, look forward later today for the update. This will be coming out on DLC. I'll be posting the update at the end of the stream. So I'm hoping we'll have another 2 to 3 new starter decks in the game ready to play. So you'll have some new AI opponents to enjoy. Thanks for being here with us. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Demolish. There's just so many good choices, and it's so hard to see all the possibilities at first glance. You really got to go through this a bunch of times to find the right decks. Okay, so now we're down to just animals and stuff like that. All right, I'm just going to go through one more time and see if there's anything that strikes me as a good insertion card here. I feel like the Bloodlust and the combination of the Orc Battlehorns are going to yield a pretty good oomph of power. Part of me wants to get one of these guys in at least so that we've got some means of defensive and healing ability. But what do I swap out? Huntress cost 3. That's a pretty heavy cost unit. I'm almost inclined to drop out one of those and throw in a Cleansing Fire. Yeah, so now we've got, that's pretty good. Okay, and then anything else in here that strikes me as an interesting choice? Dun 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 dun. I feel like I've got a pretty good set now. All right, tell you what, I think this is ready to test. We're gonna make a deck on this. We're gonna call it the we need a good orc themed name for a deck. What do we call this guy here? The Horde, or the yeah, I'm not sure. What's a funny name for orcs and trolls and shamans? I really need Loganair here to, or clever name. This is a Twitch name. Come with a funny name. The Horde. I'll just call it the Horde for now. I'm not very. I guess I'm not. The names aren't striking me, the super creative names, but we'll call them the Horde. And all right, cool. So let's screenshot this. We're going to build this starter deck next and have the AI playtest it, and we'll see how this does. I'm excited to see how that goes. All right, so let's exit out of here. Just quit it. There we go. All right. Once again, we're going to fire up our tools. I'm going to go ahead and pull up our deck roster we made, and we're going to build the Horde starter deck. Dun 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 dun. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. I think I'll use this deck here as the Horde deck. We'll just override that. The Horde. And the Horde. Okay, so kind of like before, what we're doing here is just programming our actual definition here that will be used with inside the game to add this as a starter deck. We know we want Dorkslayer as the head leader. We want to have the Orc Shaman, of course, as our support unit. That's O for Orc, Orc Shaman. And we want to have the Giant Mountain Troll as our secondary guardian. Fantastic. First turn bid 1. Card set will activate it as alpha. Okay. So, what cards do we have in this deck here? Let's look at our preview. All right, so let's do the units done first. We know we want a Hydra in here, so let's go to Hydra as our character here. I think that's our quad, Hydra. Yeah. So we got a Hydra inside this deck. We've got an Orc Huntress as a choice. Oh, is an Orc Huntress. One of those. Okay, we've got 2 Orc Warriors. Boom, 2 of those. Great. We've got 2 Goblin Archers. Get some goblins in there. We've got a Goblin Assassin and a Goblin Warrior. So let's get Goblin Assassin as 1. And a Goblin Warrior, 1 of those. Okay. Good, good, good. All right, is that all the characters we have? It looks like it is. Fantastic. All right, and now let's go ahead and get our spells. So we got spells. All right, first spell is Fireball. One of those. We've got 2 Bloodlusts. We've got a Chain Lightning. We have Fire Shield. We've got 2 Orc Battle Horns. We got Spoil the Surprise. It's going to be a very interesting deck. A lot of surprises, which is cool. All right. We've got a, what's that called? The little imp guy one. That's called Cleansing Fire. Cleansing Fire. One of those. We got Dragon's Breath. We got Fire Trap. And we've got the Roar. Okay, did I cover all the bases here? Let's make sure we got all 20 of them. All right, let's count. Let's see, hang on. Roar. I think that might be everything. Okay, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. One thing I am realizing is I have these Bloodlust, which is also echoed in the bug deck. So there's a little bit, I might want to tweak a little bit of that around so that we're not just copying the bug deck directly. So when we think of a theme for this deck, it is similar in ways to the bug deck a little bit, but we've got some more destruction and the bigger monster in here. Thematically, it feels different, I suppose. All right, so let's hit save on this. And then I'm going to turn the bug deck off for our testing purposes. Alpha, none. Okay. Save. And we're going to go ahead and close this down. Go into here. Go into my local store. Copy the new definitions. Go into resources. Paste it in here. Okay. So I am now ready to go ahead and publish or test the fight against the orcs. All right, here we go. So let's make sure they appeared in the starter deck. They did. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to fight the orcs. Who are we going to fight them with, huh? I'll fight them with the bugs. Bugs versus orcs. All right, let's see how the orcs fare in the combat here. It looks like we're fighting on this level again. Cool. And the enemy goes first. All right, so right off the bat, they're summoning the battle horn. Boom. Everyone gets stronger. All right, that's not a bad first play. We're going to start off with some poisonous bugs. Oh, I lost one to the spikes. Get my griffin in there. I guess we'll harpoon this little goblin because just because. Take that. And end my turn. Oh, he's gonna go for the bloodlust. Bloodlusting himself. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, and why does he stop there? That was a poor move, AI. He could have hit me with a 9 damage hammer and summons a little goblin instead. This is where our AI needs some work. Oh dear. And then he lost his bloodlust. See, that was a poor choice of a move there. That's probably an instance of the AI running multiple simulations and then the processing got in conflict. All right, we're going to go sneak behind here and get this guy. And I'm going to go ahead and wow, he's got 6 damage there, huh? All right, let's go ahead and let's pull back. I'm going to get this guy out of the way. Heal him. I'm going to summon this scorpion in here to deal with him. Ouch! Oh, that didn't work so swell. Let's undo that. Summon the spider instead. Create a little bit of a wall between me and these orcs coming in. Oh, let's see if I can't get him because I'll fall in the trap. Oh no. Okay, that won't work. All right, that's okay. I'll just start sending my little spiders around and we'll end turn. Yeah, it's just interesting seeing the AI. Okay, so now they're going to buff everybody. So this is looking like a pretty effective team. They're just having some trouble getting to me here. Oh, he just took down the griffin. Oh man, that orc is looking very beastly. Yikes. Oh man. All right, so yeah. That wasn't good. I don't have enough range to get behind him, unfortunately. So we're in a bit of a tough spot here. We don't want to get beaten. We don't want to take 8 damage next turn. I'm trying to think about how to survive this encounter. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of a trick here. I'm going to put this guy in place. We are going to beef up our summoner, and then we're going to use the harpoon, which will trigger a combo with the scorpion, but not give the orc a chance to attack us. And then we'll go ahead and heal. So that should keep us alive for a round here. And I think what we'll try and do strategy-wise is just stay in the corner and focus on defeating the chief, because we'll automatically win if we do, and let these giant guys over here just not worry about him. And so our scorpion did his job defending us there, which is great. Okay, so now let's bloodlust ourselves again. Now we're at 8 damage. If I can find a position that would give us a chance to get extra damage on this orc, we could probably defeat him. But I'm not seeing an option. Hey, good morning, Ross, says clever name. Stream's probably almost over, eh? Actually, no. We're gonna. Your bus never showed up. That's a shame. Actually, I've been waiting for you. I've called out you several times on the stream. I need some clever puns to name the decks we're creating here. I need funny team names. So far, our orc deck is just called the Horde, and that's not the most exciting name. It's descriptive. And then for the bug deck, we've got either the battle bugs or the birds and the bees, which I thought was kind of funny. We had one vote from Kelson for birds and the bees, but yeah, we're looking for funny names for decks we're making. So if you got thoughts, shout them out. And right now we're just sort of testing the AI. Challenge considered, excellent. I'm trying to figure out where I can go that's not going to result in my untimely death here. I think here's what we're going to do. We're going to summon the Starling. And I'm going to do the same thing as I'm going to throw the harpoon at this guy. There we go. So I've created a little bit of a buffer here with this guy between me and that other guy. And yeah, all right, let's try this. I'm trying to survive against the orcs. Clearly, I'm well surrounded by orcs here, but I've got them poisoned, and the chief's almost dead. So if I can just survive one more round, I can probably beat the AI. And they nailed that poor starling. Orc huntress. Oh dear. All right. Well, this is like a good game for the orcs here. So I'm going to defeat them because I'm going to get the combo attack here. Yeah. All right. So first test against the orcs again went in our favor here. I was able to beat them. They made some interesting, weird choices in terms of their strategy. Let's fight the AI one more time and just make sure that that deck looks like it's solid here. I am concerned about the 2 Bloodlust in both decks. It sort of kind of makes them not very interesting variety-wise, so I might consider changing some of those. It looks like I got the first turn here, so what are we going to do? I guess I'll poison your... Let's poison your cleric. Okay, and then I'll come attack him too. Why not? And we'll heal this guy. Are you building new decks for the AI specifically? Asks Clevername. Yes. Yes, we are. So kind of a twofold purpose here. We can create starter decks. It gives players some pre-constructed decks to start with to begin their playtesting, but it also creates new AI opponents. So I want the starter decks to be effectively playable by the AI, so I'm trying to avoid situations of cards I know the AI is going to have problems playing with. So right now we're just sort of playtesting with them to see how they turn out and how they react to the game. All right, so here we're going to try our ants. There we go. Got some ants in there. I'll do my hyperspeed on my bug, because why not? And let's just go sort of beat down this guy a little bit. Beat down him. I don't want him summoning another goblin, so I think I'll just attack this guy over here. And simple enough that you don't need super combos to use them. Indeed. Yes. True. Very true. All right, what else are we going to do here? I just think I'm going to go and fly over here. Actually, do I have enough speed to get over there? No, we're going to go over here with this guy. And turn. Cool. So it looks like I've just about killed the orc shaman here. All right, he's beefing those guys up, so at least the AI is figuring out that. That's good to see. Good. Squashing some bugs. Okay, cool. He's marching toward me, which is good. He should be sending those giants in full force. That's what I would expect. We're going to slow him down with some more bugs. And then I'm going to do this awesome combo here you're going to love. So by using the gravity pull, it should have... Oh, it didn't trigger the combo. Why didn't those guys combo attack? Let's try that again. Maybe I had to be over here. There we go. Boom. For the bird bug deck, anti-air. Anti-air, that's a pretty funny name. I like that. All right, let's end turn here. Oh, the Hydra. All right, cool. So he's dropping the big guy down. Hydra also has Vigilant, which is cool, and he's getting stronger now. So he just beefed himself up. Oh, the orcs, of course, would be the hoarders. Oh, see, I like hoarders better. That's funnier. Thank you. Hoarders is funnier than the horde. The hoarders. I like that. All right, so we're in a little bit of a bind here. I think the orcs are at an advantage against my deck here, which is good. I want to see the AI provide a challenge. Now I can outsmart them, I think, by getting my guy out of here, and he's gonna die to poison, so I don't have to worry about him so much. But how are we gonna roll here? We need to get this poor guy's gonna get slaughtered. Maybe I'll protect him with that, and then should I go for poisoning this Hydra here? I'm not sure, man. That Hydra is going to be a bit of a problem. I don't have anything to deal with the Hydra, I realized. There's no removal spells in this bug deck. I think this is a good lesson for my bug deck. So take a note to self, Ross. Swap out a Bloodlust for like a Smite or something, so we have a way to remove these heavy hitter units inside the bug deck. All right, I'm gonna go over here and attack this guy. And then let's get some defense out. Something to block that troll from slaughtering me next turn. Okay, let's leave it at that. Let's see if I can defeat these orcs. So far, the AI has not beaten me yet, which is not surprising. But we're going to see how this... Okay, oh, that was a smart move, getting the spider out of the way. And he hit him so hard he didn't get to summon any little spiderlings. I didn't realize how strong is this orc right now. Oh, it's because he comboed. He combo attacked him. Interesting. Oof, oof, ugh. Ouch. Oh, dear. Oh, there's the surprise. Swift Strike. Take that, troll. Boom. Oh, but it didn't help. I still got squished. This looks bad for click click. Let's okay, so this would be a great spell defensively. We'll put reflect damage on him. So at least he'll return the hit to whoever he goes after, and then let's do this. So help him survive one more turn. Nice to see the AI using combos. The AI is very good with combos. Very good with the combos. Oh, guess what? Reflect damage in your face. So that'll keep me alive and help me deal a bit more damage to him. Good. Oh, he's going to burn me down. What? Why on earth did the AI burn the tree down? I have no idea. Take that, tree. What an odd choice of placement there. I almost want to report that as a bug to myself and be like, why did the AI burn this tree down? I would be really curious to try and figure out the thought process there. Why did the AI burn down the tree? the tree. Yeah, I have no idea why the AI would have done the fire breath there. That was very strange. Okay, so this looks bad for us. I do not think I'm going to be able to survive this battle. Um, we're going to try. Retreat! The key tactic of any smart tactician. Who's going to be beefy enough to defend me from that troll? You know what? Let's put this guy here. He's cheaper. Buys me some time. We'll save our mana up for next turn. Maybe it thought the cone would hit the adjacent squares. Yeah, that's very puzzling. But I have seen other weird behavior where the AI has not been using AoE effectively. They've been, shortchanging themselves with attacks they could have made against um, larger amounts of enemy units. So there's probably a little tweak I got to make inside that algorithm. All right, so we managed to hide behind a tree, which is our best defensive position because it can only hit us from the one side. I'm trying to think what we do now to deal with the situation we're in. Eek, it doesn't look good for us, but I feel like I want to summon this giant ant thing to block the path there so I'm not having to directly face things. And then we'll take and knock him down a little bit. We'll go ahead and throw this on him. Ugh. Ouch, it's going to hurt. And we'll put a defensive spell on this guy. It might also be a literal edge case due to it being on the corner of the map. It could be. Yeah. It's definitely strange. Oh dear. This looks bad. I think we're going to lose the AI, which just tells me the orc deck is solid, which is good. Oh dear. It's not looking good. Click, click, no! Get out of there! All these archers. See, even if I fly away out of distance, the archers are going to get me, and there's nothing I can do about that. That's unfortunate for me. But I'll take them down. I want vengeance on at least one more goblin before I die. I'm going to die on my own terms. Die! Alright, now I've probably been bested. So, end turn. It's over. The AI orcs are going to beat me with their massive horde of guys. The hoarders. I like that. I'm going to call them the hoarders. Okay. Is that a covered in bees card? Yeah. It is. Not the bees. Not the bees. Not the bees. Not the bees. Ah, yes. Okay. So that was pretty fun. All right. So while I've got it on the top of my head, we're going to do a couple changes. We're going to change the horde to the hoarders because that's funnier. Come on, tool. Oops. I think I got to exit the game out. Oh, there it goes. Okay, let's close down the game here real quick. All right, so we're gonna go to the decks we were making here. All right, so let's call this the Hoarders. Yeah, the Hoarders. That's hilarious. And hang on, Hoarders is spelled. How did you spell Hoarders? Is it Hords? I feel like I had the word horde spelled wrong. Anti-air is too cheesy. I like the birds and the bees. Okay, we're gonna keep the birds and the bees. That's a good vote. Hoarders is like spelled like that, right? It's not, or is it H-O? I don't even know now. Hoarders. Hoarders, yes. Okay, that's what I thought. The horde is spelled with an. You know what? Let's just change it. There we go. Hoarders. Okay. Hoarders. Okay, cool. Perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And the birds and the bees. Hoard is a group of things. To hoard is to collect. Yes, that's what I thought. Okay, so we did have it spelled right before, which is why I thought, but this is funnier. Okay, the hoarders. I like that. Actually, the hoarders is appropriate too because sort of comically within our lore of the game, the goblins are hoarders. They like shiny things. They collect them. That's the joke with the goblins. So it's very very on point with the humor of the game. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So we had a note. I wanted to change the bug deck. We're gonna drop out one bloodlust, so it's not just all bloodlust, and I want to change in a new card for the for these guys. I'm trying to remember what it was that we decided. Oh yeah, we were going to throw in a smite. We need something more defensive for the bugs to deal with situations where they're overwhelmed like that. Okay, so we'll throw in a smite. There we go. Save. Cool. All right, cool. All right, so that's two starter decks we now have created. We're going to go ahead and make a third, and then we're going to push an update at the end of our stream to all of our pre-release players. And I'm thinking for this last one, I'm thinking about doing Sibylla as the next choice. So, and I've got a deck already made that is pretty good with her, and I'm curious how the AI would play her. So let's take a look at that one and see if it would be a good choice. And of course, we're gonna need a better name than one I have because I don't come up with good, funnier names. Yeah, Skeletal Horde. This is not good. Not a good name. And also, I'm gonna have to change her thematically so it's not just a copy of the other Lich King deck. I want it to be a little bit different. Yeah, my concern with this right now, just looking at it, is it feels really close to the Lich King deck. It's got some differences, but the Achiri is a different character. We need to pick a different Guardian, so it feels different. So let's see if we can work with this, though, as a possibility. All right, so to give some context, Sibyl the Conjurer, she is a character from Hero Mages. She betrayed the Arcane Academy Council and left and decided she wanted to become all-powerful. Her ability is that she gives all summon units +1/+1, and she can sacrifice allies to heal herself. And so this deck is about sacrificing and getting more powerful. So we've got the Achiri, which is one of the most awesome characters to sacrifice because she turns into a Banshee when she dies. I love the Skeletal Giant. He's one of my favorite characters, but I feel like I want to use a different character so it doesn't feel the same as our existing decks. Maybe the Mummy would be appropriate. I think the Mummy kind of goes with our theme of everlasting life within the deck. So maybe we'll swap in the Mummy here. Yeah, I think that feels good. So it's definitely another undead themed character deck. This deck will of course feature our horse demons, which will be awesome. We got the skeleton hounds, which have not been used yet. Skeletons have been used. We've got sacrifice. So these blood rituals, I'm concerned about how effective the AI will use them. We use them in the core deck, and they're not necessarily the most effective at using those yet. I'm just trying to think if this deck, seeing the AI does not know how to use the red imp. I really wanted to make this deck, but I just don't know if the AI is ready to play it yet without some major tweaks. This may be a difficult stretch to program the AI to use this effectively. Let's table this one and come back to it. I want to see if there's another easier win here I can make. That would be another good choice. Maybe we could do something with this Rugged Mage. Let's see what I have in this deck here. Is he a good starter deck or not? Although he's got the Ant. We want something different for that. I love the idea of making a deck that's themed around the vulnerability of the Rock Giant. That could be a really fun combination of things. And who could go with the Rock Giant as a choice for that guy? Maybe the Manticore. What if we had a deck like this that was based on the Rugged Mage, and we did a bunch of resilient Earth type creatures? Like the theme of this deck is the element of Earth somehow. Let's see if there's something we could create with that. Any units that attack multiple times. When you say multiple, I'm... Oh, the Barbarian. Yeah, the Barbarian. Let's throw him in there. Why haven't I put the Barbarian in one of these starter decks yet? Maybe he would be a good choice. So vulnerable triggers more than once per turn. Yeah, that's a good call out. Yeah. What if we had Barbarian and Rock Giant as starting units, and then we want some heavy Vigil characters in there as well. Let's see here. So this would obviously have, we want Earth Elementals in this deck. Got the thing that turns him into a bear, which should be interesting. I'm curious if the AI will use that or not. Let's see here. Maybe the Swarm might also be good. Oh yeah. Let's see. Earth Elemental, there they are. Rock Giant smacks something and all the Swarm hits for an extra damage. Ooh. Alright, let's see here. These starter decks are hard to make because it's really hard to come up with a deck that the playability style of it is obvious to players. I'm just not know if I'm feeling this deck or not yet. We got the Bramble. This sort of goes to the theme of the other guy hitting the... I mean, Bramble Elementals would be great because you can smack things into them and then they'll inflict damage when they get hurt. So that could be interesting to try that. We've already used the Hydra. Let's give him the Green Dragon because that sounds interesting. We haven't used the Green Dragon yet. Mana Surges are always good. Okay. Let me throw on the Manticore. Let's see what else. Saber-Tooth Tiger is another interesting choice of character. These are pretty heavy, big monster type characters. We said we wanted 2 Earth Elementals. We got 2 of these Earth Drakes, so that goes with the vulnerability. Oh, here's the Bramble guy. Good. These are all very heavy costs, but we've got the Mana Surges to sort of offset some of that. He does not have any healers, so he's got the Cure Poison. He might need a healing spell. So maybe some Water Elementals would be good choices as well. Let's take the Tiger out. Let's put another Bramble in. Let's see here. This is probably too complex for the AI to figure out. Let's take that out. I love giving the AI some surprises, so the Bear Trap's good. We should give him at least 2 though, so the player doesn't know which one it is. So maybe a Cover of Shadows would be a good choice because that's a great defensive spell. Oh, here's that Water Elemental. Let's throw one of those in. Rugged Mage's thing is adding knockback to his own spells. No, that's the Battle Mage. The Battle Mage adds the knockback. I was thinking about doing a deck with him too. Yeah, I'm almost worried this deck might be still too advanced for a starter deck just because this character he's also really hard to play. He's more advanced. He's got the sprint shot. He causes knockback and inflicts immobilized. Right, he roots people. Yes, he does. He locks you in place. Maybe to go with that theme, we should give him the Entangle Roots spell that locks people down. That might be kind of interesting for him thematically. This Entangle spell. I'm looking at that one. But what to pop out? See, I almost feel like, again, there's too high a cost. I love the idea of, so he's got the Earth, the vulnerability guys, these vulnerability guys, the Bramble guys, which can shoot at range. So this could be a good combination because these guys have the same power as the Rugged Mage, where they inflict immobilize with their range attack. So we could potentially have a whole deck that's themed around throwing you, locking you down, and then having the Brambles that hurt you as well. It could be really fun. Let's take Poison Breath out. Again, there's not enough poison-causing things here, and I'm almost feeling like the Green Dragon doesn't necessarily apply either. But I like having one big sort of monster in there. All right, we talked about putting Cover of Shadows in there as a defensive. Oh, we already have one. We don't need more than one. We got Entangle. We got the Bear Transform. I have no idea if the AI will use that card or not, so that'll be interesting to see. What other things are fun? Ooh, Gravity Wells. Yeah, Gravity Well goes good with our theme of pushing people around. Maybe a couple generic archers. Yes, archers would be great. I like that idea. So he could use goblin archers with the theme of stay over there while I shoot you. I like that. Yeah, there is a deck that BG Smarthead made that was themed around this idea of shooting people at a distance, which was really cool. Oh, I know. Do we want to throw in Goblin Archer or the Orc Huntress? We've already got a lot of 3 costs. Let's go with the lower cost Archer. Let's replace one Troll with an Archer. Yeah, because the Archer's in combination with the Earth Elemental. So if he inflicts Vulnerable all 1, Earth Elemental hits somebody, Archer hits it, they take an extra damage from the vulnerability, which is cool. Same thing with the Rock Giant, all that. So these Archers could actually be really, really good in this deck. Maybe we'll swap out this guy with another Archer. So we'll have 2 Archers. Okay, that's looking pretty interesting. We got our 3 cost guys. We have that healing spell. We have a Bloom that kind of bolsters our health. I kind of feel like instead of Bloom, I want to heal all. There we go. Let's get rid of that. Let's trade these out. Heal all ice 3 life. This will help keep his little minions alive longer. We got a Gravity Well in there. A Gravity Blast actually might be better than a Gravity Well. Let's throw that instead. Oop, size limit reached. Okay, let's try a Gravity Blast because we want to keep enemies away. Stay over there. I like that. I like that theme. Clever name. Okay. Two Mana Surges. He needs the Mana Surges to get the big guys out, so that's going to be helpful. All right. Bear Trap goes with our theme. We have a Cure spell in case he gets poisoned. Okay. I see an interesting theme forming here. This seems like an interesting combination. Oh, Regenerations would be great for this deck. I'm trying to think what we could swap in for Regeneration because that goes really good with the versatility of it. I almost feel like the bear is out of place. And the elementals are reasonably beefy, so they can stand in the way. Absolutely. Yeah. All of these characters are really strong. I mean, I guess these guys are vulnerable to pierce units, but these guys are going to be really a literal wall. Make it cost something to get past the archers. Absolutely. I feel like a regeneration would be great to have in this deck. I'm just trying to think of who to replace with it. I like keeping all the earth guys because that really bamps up the vulnerability. I don't know that this goes with the theme because then the mage can't use his power. Let's swap that out. All right, so now we've got a regeneration. Good, good, good. All right, I can dig this. All right, let's try and first turn bid. All right, so what do we call this deck? What's a good theme for the vulnerability, earthy kind of ruggedy? I don't know. I mean, it feels ruggedy. It feels like something a rugged mage would play. Earth, rocks, rugged, beefy plants, and things like that. What do we call this deck? The Ruggeds? Ruggeds. I don't know. I'm just going to call it that for now. I'll let you think about that because I got to still go and build it. So we'll call it that. I'm gonna screenshot it. And while clever name is coming up with a clever name, I totally just did that. I'm gonna go put this into the game. All right, so let's go out of this. There are loners, always pushing everyone away. Okay, so we're gonna go into the deck builder here. We're gonna build a new starter deck here. Decks. All right, let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. All right, what's this? T5. Oh, I can't use that deck. I'm trying to look for an open deck I have that I can just use as a. Oh, let's use this. Perfect. Ruggeds. All right, so we had our summoner was the Rugged Mage. We had, oops, that's the wrong one. Let's close this down. Let's get the right screenshot up here. We had Barbarian and Rock Giant. Okay, cool. First bid one. All right. I like the word rugged. Maybe you should call them the Rugged Loners. Rugged Loners. Needs more pun. Is that how I did the headers? Let's see. Is that how I did the headers? How did I do the headers? Yeah, I did it like that. Okay. Battlebugs, HH, and then the Hoarders. Yeah, okay, cool. Ruggeds. The Ruggeds. All right, let's clear this out. Okay, put them in the alpha set. Okay, so here we go. All right, so we've got a green dragon. Let's start with the units. We have got 2 Bramble Elementals. Got 2 of the flying, what's it called? The rock quad. Earth Drakes. Ooh, how about the Rugged Rebels? Loner Rebel is another word for loner, and then it's got the double R, which is always fun. The Rugged Rebels. I kind of like that. What do you think of that one clever name? Just came to me. R&R. Okay, we got 1 troll. That's the blue troll. Okay. We've got 2 earth elementals. Cool. 2 goblin archers. I'm drawing blanks right now. Rugged Rebels is good. Excellent. I knew we would get it together. That's just awesome. Oh, Rugged Rebels, not Rugged Rebels. There we go. Yeah, Rugged Rebels. I like that. It goes with it. Okay, so we got 2 goblins, 2 of these guys, 1 of those, and I think we got all of our units. All right, so let's do spells now. So spell, and then we've got 1 cover of shadows. Cover shadows times 1. Maybe rugged repulsors. Repulsor. I think of like a ray gun when I hear the word repulsor, like something on Star Trek. Repulsor ray. All right, let's see. 1 cover of shadows, 1 entangle. We've got Bear Trap. We got a Cure Poison. We've got Gravity Blast. We've got Heal All. We've got 2 Mana Surges. We've got a Regeneration. Alright, let's make sure I got all the spells we wanted in here. Regeneration times 1. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Something's missing. Let's go over again. Green Dragon, 2 Bramble Elementals, 2 Earth Drakes, 1 Troll, Cover of Shadows we got, 2 Earth Elementals we got, 1 Entangle. Oh, the Water Elemental. We forgot the Water Elemental. That's what it is. Okay. Yeah. Boop and boop. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Perfect. All right, we got them. All right, let's go test these guys out. And then if they work out okay, we'll be ready to go. Making our update here. So let's save that. Let's deactivate the Hoarders so that we're just fighting the one deck. Let's make sure the Rugged Rebels are ready to go, and it looks like they are. And let's go to our test, copy our new file in here, and okay, here we go. I'm sure we're going to find as players that there are flaws in this deck. Just FYI, when we created the original starter decks, those took weeks of playtesting to get those balanced and feeling right. So I think it's going to be fun to get player feedback, hear what you guys have to say about these decks, and of course we will tweak them as we go on here. All right, so let's just verify that the starter deck updated to the Rugged Rebels. It looks like it did. Cool. The starter decks don't have to be perfect either. Yes, they do. Everything has to be perfect. I want perfection. I demand perfection. All right. Should we fight them with our bugs? This should be interesting because the bugs are all about the mobility. So a deck that's anti-mobility should be interesting. All right, here we go. We're facing the Rubber Regals for the first time. It looks like they get the first turn. Barbarian sort of moving in there cautiously. Okay, let's give him everything we got. I'm gonna play like a pro here. We're gonna Bloodlust our Griffin and get him in there. Ooh yeah. That's not all I got in store for you. Oh, I guess it is. I can't reach you with this guy. All right, well. Put him over there. And just keep him over there. It's fine, I guess. Okay, here we go. What you got, AI? Oh, jeez. Green Dragon the first turn. I noticed the Rugged Mage didn't attack at the range start. No, it didn't. It didn't. It has a range attack, but it's a sprint shot. So he actually has a range limitation of 3 spaces because he's a sprint shot guy. So he can move and attack, unlike most of the characters. Wow. Okay, so he summoned the Green Dragon. We need to get rid of that Green Dragon. I don't want to have that thing poisoning the crap out of us here. So let's see. Griffin is not poisoned. It looks like he just attacked with the Green Dragon. He did not use its breath attack. Okay, so that's good to know. Well, I'm going to take the cheap shot at this guy. And then let's heal him. And then we're going to summon a spider. Oh, dang it. I need him facing the other direction. No. Oh, I wanted to pull him in to do the combo attack. You know what? Maybe we should go after this rock giant instead. Ooh, this is a tough call. I'm going to get the spider out because I want... You know what? Here, let's get them both out. Let's do this. There we go. Now we got 2/2 spiders. Sweet. We got to get him. And I'm just going to do this combo to him like that. There we go. And the great thing about it is because the spider's here, the dragon can't backpedal against us there. All right, let's end turn. Well, if the AI does not deal with that Griffin, they're going to be dead next turn. So let's see what they've got. This is a pretty crowded map. All right, so they take out that guy. Cool. Ah, more spiders generated. Nope, he overkilled them. All right. The dragon just got backstabbed by a bird. All right, let's see here. All right, I really don't want to get poisoned by that dragon, but we've got two big guys up in our. Actually, we have a whole army of big guys in our face, and I've got nothing to attack their mage with. We have to play the defensive now. We're not injured yet, but we're not looking pretty here. Let's get the bugs over here. Let's take out this giant. Like so. Combo, combo, combo. Combo. Oh, we beat him down to the ground. Love it. And then we'll throw in the scorpion here to defend us against the dragon. And take that. Poison the dragon. All right, cool. And then we'll heal our scorpion back up. And I'm feeling pretty good. Sorry about the no sound. It's a lot more fun when there's sound. I don't know why our sound's not working today. So what do we got here? AI is thinking. Let's see. See, this is a concern. When the AI takes too long to think, I wonder if there's a bug or... Oh, nope, there they go. Cool. All right. It's amazing how this scorpion's holding up this massive dragon. Oh, the barbarian's going in for the killing spree. Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. Ah! Everybody's getting hacked up by the barbarian's killing spree. Oh, God. Yeah, barbarian's a great counter to the bugs because of that, the killing spree power. That's pretty good. Okay. Well, the rugged mage looks like he's just chilling back there because he knows he's been pretty badly. He's afraid of the birds. The birds got the best of him. Multi-kill. Yes, exactly. Says clever name. Okay. So it looks like our big threat right now is the barbarian. We're gonna go ahead and attack the dragon. This seems like a suicide, but remember he's poisoned for 2, so. Oh, actually, he's poisoned for 4. We don't even need to kill him. Let's just leave him alone. He'll just die on his own. We'll keep the scorpion alive. We gotta get rid of this barbarian though. He's a problem. He is a threat. So how are we gonna get rid of him? I could power up my guy here. I think we can beat him. Let's see. So we're gonna go over here. Knock him with that. Combo him. Yeah, we took a little damage, but that's okay. We heal up. We're gonna have enough power to beat him. I don't think we're gonna be able to kill that barbarian, unfortunately, but hopefully we'll survive a round. We'll go attack this guy. And we'll just go ahead and... That dragon's gonna die next turn, so we'll keep the spider here to defend our preserver. Alright, well, the AI's gonna have to take out my click because he's gonna go after him next turn. Dragon dies of poison. Kind of funny, the poisonous dragon dies of poison. Oh, Gravity Blast! For the combo! Barbarian's on his wrecking spree. Oh, jeez! Now, why this dragon did not bother to go and attack is beyond me here. Can I kill their summoner this turn? Let's find out. That guy has got too much armor for me to get through. But I can definitely kill the barbarian, so let's do that. Let's summon a bunch of ants. And send one of them after this guy. Okay, it's not got enough power to beat him. Let's go and get him. Excellent. Okay, so now his mage is surrounded. And if he doesn't do something this turn, he's going to die. Oh, he's going to die. Let's go harpoon him. Let's put him out of his misery. Take that, you rugged rebel. Combo. Dead. All right. Ross, I've lost your sound as well. Uh-oh. Okay, let me see here. That's not good. I can see you talking, but can't hear you anymore. Oh, no. What's going on here?
I just go this thing just has a mind of its own.
That fix it? Hopefully. Hello? Any luck? Can you hear me? Huh? Testing 1 2 3. Let's let me check this thing over here. Let's see if it's getting input coming in. Nope, still nothing. Wow, what is going on with my audio today? Testing 1 2 3. Very, very quiet. Okay, so you're hearing something, but it's not coming through. Interesting. Testing. Hello, hello, hello. How about now? It looks like it's getting audio. Why it's not sending it is a mystery. That's very unusual. Testing, testing. 1 2 3. Hello? Any better? I wish it was working. Okay. Still super quiet. Like I can hear you, but only because my headphones are noise canceling. Oh man, this is brutal. All right, I'm trying to think what I can do to fix this.
Let's change over to let's quit Soundflower. Let's change over to sound preferences here. And it's not my Windows audio; it's still nice and loud. Okay, we're gonna get this working. All right, can you hear me now with the microphone? I'll try this. Is this helping? Testing, testing. Can you hear me now with the Mac microphone? Any better? Testing 1 2 3. Trying to fix the audio bugs because they're not fun. This could be an OBS update requirement. As, again, the Mac just updated. Testing, still quiet. That is so weird. Why would it be operating so quietly? Now let's go into this thing and see what we got. Audio capture, testing. It sounds like you're whispering to me. That is not good. Okay. Audio capture. Like I have to strain to hear your words. That is so weird. What is going on here? Testing, testing, testing. 1 2 3. It looks like it's coming in fine here. Weird. Testing, 1 2 3. Testing. Properties. I have no idea how to fix this thing here. Could be a Twitch thing. Not entirely sure. Let me restart my stream 1 sec. Okay. Let me know. I don't want to be hard to hear. I'm very sad about this. While we're waiting, I'm gonna play one more game here, and you just keep me posted and see. We'll fight the AI again and see what happens. So test 2 against the rugged team. Let's see what happens. Okay, I don't know why the AI would have done that. That was a weird choice. It appears it was on my end somehow. Okay, great, fantastic. So we have audio again. Yay, all right. All right, I'm glad. Well, we just defeated the AI very quickly in about 30 seconds there. I'm not sure why they decided to run their rugged mage out there like that. We're going to try one more game here and see if they play better this time. The better Twitch player somehow set my volume to 1%. Interesting. That's very strange. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this guy. Griffin Assault. Let's get a Gargantuan out. Let's take this Barbarian down. He's our, we don't want him hurting us. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's heal up. Oops, wrong thing. I said heal up. My bad. That's okay. Yeah, I was surprised it was not coming through because it seemed like it was all working. But I've seen stranger things. Like, for some reason, I can't hear my system audio. I'm not sure why that's not working. Probably an issue with Soundflower and the update that happened in my system this morning. Ooh, okay, so there's the Rugged Mage. I was wondering if he's going to use that power ever. All right, so I'm immobilized. That's the bane of the insect deck, is being immobilized. So we're in some trouble now. But we're going to use Gargantuan to take out the Barbarian, save us there. Boom. We're going to heal up. I'll also get rid of the immobilization, which is good. Come in here, and you know what? Before we do that, let's beef up. Yeah. Let's go get this guy. Oh, Cover of Shadows. Clever go, AI. All right. I'm glad to see that. All right, we'll go kill the Earth Elemental. Okay, so let's see what the AI's got in store for us this turn. So why the AI decides to run in there like that? Oh, I guess he knows I would have just thrown a thing at him. Okay, that makes sense maybe. Combos into the into the spikes. That was pretty good. All right, like that. All right, so we're just outside the range here of this guy. Let's bring him into range of the Gargantuan. Let's heal ourselves, and I think this is game over again. So pretty easy to beat the Rugged Mage with my bugs, but again, I'm a pro player here, so not to be surprised. I feel like that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and put all the starter decks back into the game and just verify everything works, and then we're going to do a DLC update and get these guys shipped out. So exit game. All right, so go back into definitions library. Okay, and we're going to go to decks. We're going to go to our, all right, so, all right, let's just make these consistent, birds and the bees. Okay, so let's add this to alpha. So it's like it seems like a pretty good starter deck. I think so. I think it's going to be pretty good. It's got a nice theme. It feels unique. We'll see what players think. I'm all about feedback. You know, I can't. That's the thing. These things take time. And it's not something that is easily created by one person in the first go. It needs feedback. It needs to, you know, recommendations from the community. So we'll tweak it. All right, so this should bring our starter deck total from 6 to 9. So we'll have 3 new starter decks we added today as a result of our work here together. Okay, so let me just make sure I got them all. There's one here that's not really a deck yet. Birds and the Bees, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, cool. All right, so let's verify these are all in there. Close it down. Let's go to DLC, resources, local store. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and fire this up. Close this guy down. Boom. All right, so this is just my quick internal test to make sure that the decks all appear correctly. I didn't delete any starter decks. Let's go to starter decks here. All right, so there we go. Birds and the Bees. That's just a funny name. I like that. It makes me laugh. So here's that deck. Okay, cool. Okay, we've got the Cold Hearted Mind Gamers. The Rugged Rebels are new. Let's take a look at them. Okay, here's all the cards you put in that deck. That looks correct. Good. All right. We got our Hoarders, the Hoarders. I wish we had like another word for the hoarders, like something like in front of it, like I don't know, the humble hoarders, but not that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, get the alliterations going. Alliterations are funny. All right, cool. I know this deck is very effective. The AI plays this deck very good. They beat us with this one, so that's a good sign that that deck is going to be interesting to fight. Cool. All right. Okay, cool. All right, this looks good. All right, so now we're going to test that the DLC actually works as expected. So to do that, I'm going to exit this out. Hit OK. I'm going to need to reinstall my game. Application support. Handsome hoarders? Yeah, I thought handsome for a minute. I'm like, I don't know. Does handsome sound right for orcs? I don't know. Yeah, handsome or horrible hoarders, but that's handsome hoarders. Be great if they had like a little comb. They were like combing their hair. All right, so I'm gonna just do this just so I can replace the old file and reboot myself to the standard. Okay, replace. All right, let's quit this and I'll reinstall 32.1, so I'm at the same version as everybody else. Okay. All right, so this is going to just verify that I'm at the same teams as everybody else. It's going to still have the orcs there because oh no, I didn't. Okay, cool, they're gone. Cool. All right, so there you go. So we're on the same version as everybody else now. Good. Okay, good. And as you can see, there's only 6 starter decks. So now we're going to begin our DLC update process and see if we can get that to work. Okay, so before we do the DLC update, we need to go ahead and prepare the release notes so that people will see the new contents available. So I'm going to go ahead and modify this. All right, so let's delete this thing at the top. Maybe I'll put a little note about that, because you know what? I kind of feel like it's fun to just notify players about our stream in case I didn't see it. Okay. Latest release, dates release. This new DLC was created live on our Twitch stream. And then we'll say, put this here. And then we'll say, put in for, there's our color name. Let's change, get rid of this tag here. I'm just cleaning up my little tags here in the forums to help us promote ourselves. Stay tuned. And so join us each week and create content with us. Insert T. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and put a link to our, where's my shortcuts? Streams, here we go. Put a link to the calendar in there. Join us each week. Here we go. And then link that to our calendar. URL equals this. Make that blue. I know this is so fun watching me format things. I know. Hey, now you can see the whole process, the whole indie journey. I don't just program. I also promote, market. You know, gotta get our stuff out there, make people excited, right? That's just gonna bring the crowds. Preview. Okay. DDLC was created live on our Twitch stream. Join us each week to create new content with us. All right, let's just tweak that a little bit. I want it to be bold. This is the true BBC coding stream. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. All right, let's see if it looks a little better. New DLC was created live on our Twitch stream. Oh, that something's not right there. I have too many bold tags or something. What's wrong? What's wrong? Oh, I think I've got this and I've got this in there. I don't know which one's the problem, but I think it's these two. Ah, here we go. New DLC was created live on our Twitch stream. Join us each week to create new content with us. Okay, now we got to add what the new decks were. So let's go ahead and put on the new decks. We're going to say we created the birds and the bees. A deck about swarming. A deck about insect swarms. On your opponent. And actually, I have a funnier word. A deck that bugs your... a deck that really bugs your opponent. I'll be coming up with some funny names for this. We got to sell these decks here. Clever name. Let's come up with some funny things. A deck that really bugs. I get the puns in there. What was the other one? The Hoarders. Yeah. And the Rugged Rebels. I'm going to call this one Don't Stand Too Close to Me. Don't stand so close to me. All right, so we need hoarders. They collect battle scars. Oh, I love it. That's perfect. They collect battle scars. Okay, great. This is too awesome. Okay, the birds and the bees. Let's make that bold. And let's make this bold. And yeah, fantastic. Okay, preview that. Okay. New starter deck and AI opponents added. Birds and the bees. A deck that really bugs your opponent. The hoarders. They collect battle scars. Rugged Rebels. Don't stand so close to me. Yes, I love it. All right, so I'm going to save that. All right, so now we got our, what? Exceeds the maximum length of 20,000 characters. What? What? Ross, why did you put limits on the characters? I have too much information in this build. Oh, dear. That's frustrating. I guess I won't be able to just keep updating the post this way. All right, I got to get rid of some characters. We've got to be just at the threshold here, so maybe if I just delete something small here. This is frustrating me. All right. Let's get rid of this blob of stuff here. I'm just trying to get rid of sense and see if that fixes it. And then let's see. There we go. Okay, we got it working. I just had to get rid of a few sentences there. Perfect. All right, I'll have to fix this next week, but for now we're good. Yeah! All right. Okay, so we got our release notes updated, which is good. All right, so now we got to actually post the update. So I need to go into my my DLC folder again, or the local store. Okay, so we're going to copy this. I'm going to copy it to the DLC folder here. And then we're going to upload this guy. Replace. Okay, we're going to make sure the manifest file record has a new version of Defs version 2. Client version will be now 32 version 2. Good to go. All right, and the last step is to go to Dreamweaver and post the 2 updates. No. Okay, it's uploaded, and then we're going to update the connect file, which will tell it there's a new version. And then also I'm going to update the, is it the download? Order download page, so this will tell you there's a new version as well. Okay, cool. All right, so that should work. So we should now have DLC. Let's go ahead and test it out. I'm going to run the raw version of the game again and verify we got the DLC updates. So let's see if this is in there. Ah! I know, I gotta fix this message, but new content available. Click here to relive the release notes for 32 version 2. All right, let's make sure that goes where we want it to. Hey, look at that. It tells us what we got new. The birds and the bees, the hoarders, the rugged rebels. Thank you, game, for telling me what's new. Hit OK, and now we'll log in again. And we've got 32 version 2, so it looks like it's updated. And we're booting up the game, and all right, let's take a look. All right, so go to StarterDecks. It looks like I haven't fixed the issue yet where it recaches. It's going to have to build a cache. So right now it's regenerating all the graphics. It takes just a minute, and then it should be good to go. All right, please don't break the game. Show me the new content. Might be just chugging because I've got. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, new content. Awesome. So there you guys have it. As promised, we made 3 new starter decks. That's 3 new AI opponents and all kinds of new fun battles you can now have against the AI that you couldn't have before. And we did it together here on the Develop with Ross stream. So if you missed out this week, I hope you join next week to help us make some content because I love player feedback, especially hilarious puns we can throw into the game and make it our own. Yeah, all right. So anyone who's in our pre-release right now, all you gotta do is restart the game and you too will have access to the 3 new starter decks we just created and you'll be able to battle those opponents against the AI. So exciting. I'm so thrilled to deliver that. All right, well, we're just out of time for today, so I won't be able to go over our single-player updates, but I'll make an effort to give you guys an update on our single-player progress next week. We had some major breakthroughs already this week, and I'll have just even more to tell you next week. And as always, feel free to join us in our Discord, where we have many lively conversations about the game, design, development, things you're excited about, and also a good place to meet other players and battle each other. So, yeah. Thanks again so much for joining us, and I'll see you guys again next week.